truth buried deep beneath the charade. Look above, what do you spy? Silver streaks crisscrossing the sky. Whispers of doom falling like rain. Chemicals dance coursing through our veins. Freedom, 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 freedom. Together, together, the nations conspire. Secrets they weave, tangled in wire. But we'll dance on the edge of their lives, living free under open skies. Freedom, 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 freedom. Don't fear the shadow, don't fear the night. Arm in arm, we'll stand up and fight. A world united under their gaze. We'll find our peace in the old ways. Freedom, 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 freedom. Throw off the chains of worry and doubt. Help one another, that's what life's about. In unity, our spirits revive. Through love and laughter, we truly thrive. Together, together, the nations conspire. Secrets they weave, tangled in wire. But we'll dance on the edge of their lives, living free under open skies. Freedom,
Hey, county gains flexing that muscle. You struck our channel thinking it's all subtle. Talking big but can't take a joke. Stealing content while you're buying smoke. Thought you were real, but it's all a game. Saying you're for hiring, but it's just for fame. Flexing with your crew, pumping iron tight. But your real intentions ain't coming alive. Boys in the gym. What's the point? You say you're tough. What we called your joint. Can't handle a laugh.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the anti-broadcast. I'm going to pop up Morgan here. I don't know if he wants to be up here now.
Yeah,
Hello.
sure.
Ah.
Hogging the fucking screen. How dare you? Diva.
Believe me, I don't want to see myself there.
Yeah. Poor County Gains. I'd almost forgotten about County Gains.
Hmm.
Yeah. How's my microphone? Does it sound okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Have you noticed we've a new addition?
Oh,
This beautiful piece.
okay. It's like a makeshift pop blocker or something.
Yeah, it's my new government monitoring tag. Like, so I've been a ball boy, so they've sent this little orb out to monitor me. Yeah, so my fucking son chewed it while he was playing a game, the original.
Oh.
So I had to fashion it out of a dish sponge. So very,
Oh.
Very resourceful. Now I've mentioned it, people probably won't be able to take their eyes off it all night. But I think it's fairly fucking noticeable.
Yeah, it just kind of floats there because your headset is black, so
Yeah,
it's going to be comical. Yeah.
It won't be here next week, like so, or it may come off. But I noticed last week it was just there was too much lip smacking and popping, and it was awful. So hopefully it's a bit better.
Oh, okay. You know, for what it's worth, I haven't noticed, and I don't think anyone out there has noticed.
Slowly, yeah.
By the way, hello everyone in the chat. Saoirse, KO, Dogman Vic, Eru something. I don't know. The usernames have changed on YouTube in the last few weeks, so it's not your display name anymore. It's your @ name. So I don't recognize some people. So don't get hurt if we don't immediately know who you are. But welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Did you watch the Late Late Show? Did you? The toy show was last night. Don't you normally?
Well, no.
Oh dear.
My family is scattered to the four winds, so we don't really do that anymore. Thank God, because it's fucking dreadful stuff. Did you watch it, Ben?
I did. My son asked me could he watch it, so I agreed to it, and we sat down to watch it. Kind of gave an hour, like 9:30 to 10:30, and it wasn't actually bad. Like, forever traumatized by the COVID Late Late Toy Show, so that was kind of it couldn't ever get any worse than that. But it was pretty good as toy shows go. The production value was quite good. It wasn't cringy. They didn't wheel out any fucking dying children, at least that I watched. Maybe that was later in the night, so they normally wheel out very diverse toy show, though. Has to be said. It was sponsored by Permanent TSB. Only black children and with Permanent TSB, not white children, according to Permanent TSB. So that was the first thing you saw when you turned it on was, this advertisement, and then
You're joking. Permanent TSB.
Yeah.
That is disgusting.
I know. And they're up for sale as well, which is pretty apt, really, isn't it? They're up for sale. And then it was the usual, so lots of dancing and children playing and all that kind of crack. And then they had some child on with Tourette's, and they start crying, and then it's like, oh, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, what's happened to boys? Like, there was just throughout the whole thing, there was just boys crying because their famous idol come on to wish them the best, and then they burst into tears, and oh my god, it was dreadful. Really, they should have been tased, is what should have happened to them. They should have tased live on air to get us used to what's coming down the road. I would have donated money to see that, just to stop the fucking children crying. Yeah, so I'm sure. Well, we obviously are aware that the guards have indeed been given the go ahead for full scale tasers. And I'm looking forward to it. I don't know about you, but are you looking forward to it as well?
It fucking terrifies me, man, because these people are scary enough to begin with, but now, like, when you consider how many mishaps happen with their firearms, when the odd time that they're allowed procedurally to take one out, they end up fucking seriously injuring innocent people, like, without fail. And now what, they're just going to have these things on their hips and then they can just take it out.
Yeah, so I think we've had them. The guards have had them for, I think, 2 years. So the public order unit will have them for the last 2 years. So I looked at the stats to see, well, how often have they actually been used?
Right.
Well, I think in the last year, 9 times. 9 times they took them out and pointed them at people. And I think there was 2 injuries for them. I didn't hear about any of that at all. I think it was the first serious riot in Dublin after that child was stabbed. What they learned from that was that the guards need tasers because of the riot that ensued, or righteous anger as it's more properly known. But now they're starting a pilot program. Very fond of pilot programs lately, this government. So they had a pilot program initially with the body-worn cameras. That's to be extended to every guard now, again, for our protection, I think. And now they're going to have a 6-month trial with the tasers. So they're going to issue them to, I think, 128 guards in 3 divisions. I think it's Dublin, Waterford, and Kilkenny, if I'm not mistaken. One of them might maybe.
Kilkenny.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me just double check.
That's weird.
Yeah, Dublin, Waterford, not West, Dublin, Waterford, and Kilkenny. So the same areas that the body cams were trialed.
Oh,
Yeah. So it seemed to work there. So that's their new thing. That's what they do now. So they just have a trial program so people can get used to it. Then we can all go, okay, well, you know, yeah, we really don't need this because it goes against the entire ethos of the Guards, which is, you know, supposed to be the world's most famous and successful unarmed police force on the planet. But times have changed. This is the new narrative now. Times have changed, and the Guards, it's not like it used to be, and they don't feel safe on the streets anymore. And, you know, the criminals, their weapons have increased over the years, so the Guards need to catch up. So they let us know 6 months so we can all get used to it. Then they can come back to us with a nice report to say, oh, well, look, magically, crime has reduced. There's been nobody's been electrocuted to death, because it normally takes 12 months at a minimum to find out if they've actually killed somebody, you know. But I would be of the same mind as you, that we will indeed see more fatalities. I think we're now up to 321 or 22 in the last 15 years with the introduction of these tasers. It can only get worse, to my mind, especially if people have heart conditions. But again, it's the same mantra. They can only be used after, you know, initially a verbal warning, then a smack of the baton in the arm, as we discussed a few weeks ago, when we were looking at how they followed their procedures with that guy in the petrol station. Then they can use pepper spray, I think it is, and only then can they whip out the taser and then fire it. But, you know, call me cynical.
yeah, and like I'm thinking of the context, as you said, of, you know, riots, right? Where like we've seen it before. People on our side just you know, videoing what's going on, and they're harassed, they're boxed in, and then they are assaulted, and then what? It's, oh, you know, just because. Well, what is a person supposed to do at that point? Is just, you know, put their hands behind their heads and say, I relent.
I think you have to do that as a standard, don't you? Like anywhere you go now, you just have to walk around everywhere with your hands up for fear of running into a guard.
I'm not a threat. I'm not a threat.
Yeah.
But like it just sounds like they could just escalate, because who's to say? I mean, you could be an ongoing threat, so they'll baton you, pepper spray you, then in with the taser. And then that's going to be okay. I mean, you know, good luck fucking complaining to the Garda ombudsman.
Yeah,
you know,
so
nothing comes of that.
Yeah, that's what it will essentially be. I mean, we saw it with 420, who now holds the world record for the fastest fastest police beating in history. It previously went to Rodney King, but 420's taken the crown. He showed up. The guard gave him an instruction. God forbid anyone should even, you know, hesitate for a moment when a guard gives you an instruction, especially unlawful one. And I think it was a matter of 5 seconds from going live to getting beaten. And God forbid, if the guard had a taser, it may well be the case that he would have got tased initially. Now, I can't imagine that would happen. I would imagine it would be a case of baton, or if there's a struggle to handcuff somebody and they're not complying, well, then the taser will come out. And there's been a few articles on RTE television and the news, as you can imagine, the radio, which will be endless now and for the next fucking 6 months. But at least on RTE's morning show, they put some questions. They had some representative on from the Garda Representatives Union, whatever the fuck it's called, the larger one. And her justification was because the country is flooded with cocaine. And because it's flooded with cocaine, we've got people out there on the weekends, high as a kite on coke, and they have the strength of 10 to 15 men. And that's why the guards can't do them.
So The tasers are for people whose hearts are already under severe stress.
Yes.
Wow.
Because,
Okay.
yeah, well, the idea here is to protect the guard, you know, and
By murdering people. Yeah.
yeah, you know, as long as they're kept safe, they're fine. Like, and that's the most important thing. And as we all know, numerous examples throughout history that the best way to police a country is through coercion, because it always fucking works, doesn't it? When you police through coercion, it makes the society come together and it's all cohesive and everyone's happy with each, except for Northern Ireland. We don't mention the North. What happens when you police by coercion and force? You know, that was just an anomaly. It couldn't possibly go wrong down here or anywhere else, like, you know, Venezuela or Cuba or North Korea or any other police state, you know. It just won't happen here. Couldn't happen here, because even though we now have armed guards, they're still an unarmed force, you know, because that's always the big thing, isn't it? Like that, you know, Ireland has an unarmed police force, except for the batons and the pepper sprays and the tasers
and the rifles.
And the armed response unit and the SWAT cars and the border cannons, but we're still an unarmed police force, and that's still how the Garda operates. So I came across a video. It's Paul Nolan's video, and I think it gives us a good idea of what may have happened if a taser had it been there, and how it can go horribly fucking wrong. So I'm just going to bring this video up. So this happened in Sheriff Street a couple of days ago. I think the context is the guards were chasing some drug dealer, and he ran into somebody's house, and the guards were following him. So I'll just bring it up here and we'll have a quick look at it. It's not very long, so we might pause it a few times just to have a little chat here and there. Now, okay, I'll just maximize that.
Yep, there we go.
Okay, so there we can see this is the guard. This is the modern guard. You couldn't tell the difference between this guy and the fucking your average drug dealer, to be honest.
Yeah, he looks like he's from the Halton site. Like, geez.
Yeah. I was laboring under the delusion last week that there are no kind of scanger guards, but we quickly corrected that there are indeed. Right, so we'll have a little watch.
All right.
So someone's at the committing offence and running into your gaff. The guards at the front there will be in your front door now in a minute.
There's no guards at my front door. I'm not yet to be out there. I videoed it as well.
Come and have a look. I'm on the corner and watching them go in that door.
Have you got a warrant?
Don't need a warrant. You've been arrested for offence. Section 6, 1986. We'll be in that door now.
Yeah, so well, according to this fella, somebody's obviously jumped over the back gate, gone into this guy's house.
All right.
Is hiding in there. This guy is saying, look, there's nobody fucking in here.
Yeah.
And you're not coming in without a warrant.
Yeah.
Which I think most people would, you know, think that's, you know, fairly safe ground. But it's not. So the guard he's right and he's wrong. He's right that they can go into anybody's house if they're in pursuit of somebody who's committed an arrestable offence.
Oh, whoa.
Or if they believe that somebody may have committed an arrestable offence. So even if the guy hasn't run into his house, but this guard or any guard has a reasonable suspicion that they have, well, then they can indeed enter your house without a warrant. Now, the legislation he's quoting is the wrong legislation, which isn't surprising, really, as it was dealing with the guard. So we got the section right, the section 6, but he has the wrong act. And he didn't even mention an act here. He just gave a year. Section 6, 1986. Well, all right, well, that narrows it fucking down, doesn't it?
A few minutes.
No, you won't be. No, you won't be, mate. That's trespassing.
It's not trespassing, Pat. You can speak.
Hey, there!
You can speak to the
Hey, there! Hey, there! You're doing you. What are you fucking doing at me back? Why, mate? You're only away from me.
Yeah, I'd be more concerned about the front door, lad. Not me.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about the front door. You haven't got a word, mate. You might be accepted into my house.
Yes.
There he is. There he is.
Muppets ranked it. I went into the wrong fucking. He went in the wrong poxy house.
Yeah, so the cabbages went into the wrong house. So not surprising. Now, can we imagine they have tasers? The only thing protecting that guy in his house there is the fact that he has a mobile phone and he's recording. Because I guarantee you, without that, and that guy was up in the back of that fence, he would have been into the back garden, and maybe his dog as well. I think he's a dog in the back garden there as well. So that's always a good idea for anybody to have a guard dog in your house, especially if you live in an area where these guys are likely to be visiting on more than the odd occasion. I imagine there are quite a lot. So if he had a taser, he probably would have been tased if he didn't comply initially.
Now, that's what you get. It's what you fucking get. Look at you Muppet. It's what you get. What goes in the wrong fucking house?
Illegal rape, you dirty rats! Illegal rape!
Wow.
Yeah, different class of people in Dublin. Like it's like, and that's the part of it. Like, and this also kind of bleeds into the policing by consent, because when they don't police by consent, well, then people generally tend to fucking hate their guts. And most people will never see the guards, because they live in if they live in relative respectful areas that don't have drug problems and a lot of petty crime. They never go to an intro guard. The only time they will run into a guard is like a checkpoint on the motorway or something like that for drink driving. And everyone's very pleasant, like, oh yes, of course, guard, absolutely guard, no problem, guard. But when you live in a community like this, you get to see what they're actually like, day to day. And there's many reasons for that. You can say, well, they have a stressful job and and they have to be like this. But they don't. No. Because the original plan for the guards all the way back in 1922 was that they would not rule by force or coercion. That's why the plan was that they would never be unarmed, but in fact that the people of Ireland would respect them because of their moral superiority. That was the fucking plan, because prior to that, the police force we had in Ireland was the Royal Irish Constabulary, who were fucking hated. And during the 20s, when we finally managed to get rid of the Brits and that, like a lot of them were executed. Something like 12 or 1,300 of them were executed between 1916 and 1922 because they were fucking hated, because they essentially ruled by force and coercion. And wiser heads then realized, well, hang on, we don't just want to merely repeat and copy the mistakes of our colonial masters, so let's not have a police force. And they looked across the water as well to the UK, who had a military force before they actually had a police force that ruled by consent as well. And they copied a lot of Peel's reforms, but more aimed towards the Irish population. And they tried that, but it only lasted a year, unfortunately. So this idea that we've had an unarmed police force for the last 100 years, unfortunately, is a myth. Yeah, we had it for about a year, and then it stopped. And we, what was the guy's name? Michael Steins. That was the name of the guy. So he was one of the 1916 rebels, and the initial police force, the initial prototype of the guards, was essentially all IRA men. So 1,000 IRA militia, essentially. And then, they weren't too happy, because in his, I don't know if we call it wisdom, or in his eagerness to kind of heal the divisions between all parties in Ireland, he kept on a lot of the RIC kind of top brass, like to train the new recruits. And obviously, if you're a member of the IRA at the time, you're not going to be too happy to be receiving instructions from a former IRC, detective or inspector who's training the new forces. And there was that, then there was the mutiny in the Curragh, and then that was squashed. And then we got a new commissioner of the guards, who just so happened to turn out to be our good friend Owen O'Duffy. the originator.
Fascist.
Yeah, the fascist. The blue shirts. Miraculously, they still wear the same color shirt today. So that's the guy who founded the blue shirts, the fascist and Nazi sympathizer who immediately militarized the police, set up the special detective unit. I don't know if anyone out there has ever crossed paths with the special detective unit, but they're a particularly pleasant type of people. And their goal from the get-go was to essentially get rid of the IRA, focus heavily on that, and also anything to do with communism. And that was baked into the Guards as well from the get-go. And we are where we are today, thanks to that. But anyway, back to the video. Let's have a look, see what progresses here.
Fuck's sake, where's Phil?
Dirty little knacker. I'm not being empty for obstruction. You haven't done fucking harm wrong. I have it all on video of me. Listen, I'm not being obstructed. Have you all on video? I haven't done anything wrong. What's your name? Calvin, you're messing me out.
Man.
I know, right? This is fucking ridiculous.
It is. It's a farce. And it's not just because I can't actually tell a civilian from a Garda because, you know, they're all from the same fucking class of people. But like, it's just the way it's being done. I mean, it's not becoming of any kind of police force that has like self-respect.
No. And again, so if we actually had the police force that was envisioned, there'd be none of this to begin with, because you wouldn't have to have, you know, these idiots running around like fucking law school boys panicking because, oh shit, we've gone into the wrong house and now building doors in, because they'd be embedded in the community to begin with, because they would treat the community where they're stationed with respect. You know, they wouldn't be armed. They essentially wouldn't turn people over in the middle of the street or do this, like, because some guy is upset because he's just had people burst into his fucking house, you know, under the premise that there's a drug dealer inside, and he's saying there's not. He thinks you need a warrant, which you should. Really, there's no point in saying that we have this constitution where, you know, the household is inviolable, and then there's a little addendum at the end, like, except in accordance with law, and then there's, you know, 200 laws that essentially there's a get out clause to get around somebody's constitutional fucking rights. There'd be none of that, because you would have guards who would be, you know, ingratiated to the community, and then if there was drug dealing going on in the community and the majority of the community was against it, well, then they could just happily go to the fucking guards and say, look, this is what's happening. These are the guys responsible. That doesn't happen for numerous reasons. One, because they know the guards, they're hated. And plus the guys who are selling the drugs will probably put a bullet in the back of their fucking head, you know. And we still have that carryover of, from the British as well, that to be an informant, to be a rat, it's the worst thing that people can possibly be called, you know, and especially in working class areas as well. So a lot of, you know, criminals will hold that over people's head, and it's generally known that if you rat to the guards, well, then you're essentially, you may as well be a fucking dead man, you know. But most crimes that the guards actually solve, and not just the guards, but every police force, is because of the community. Like, so without the help of the local community, they don't solve any fucking thing, because they can't. Because it's a complete fucking mystery to them, and they don't have the time or the energy. The only reason crimes get solved is because someone in the community normally comes forward, gives them some information, they act on that information, and that's how they solve the majority of fucking crime. But obviously the consent model is dead. It's been dead probably, like we said, since the year after it came into effect. In communities like these, it hasn't existed ever, I think, probably at no stage, because people generally know what they're like. Like this, they'll show up to your house. Doesn't matter if it's your house, if the guy's in your house or not, they just kick the fucking door in, rough people up. And remember, all this is with cameras. So we can only imagine without cameras that people would be getting smacked with batons. If they had tasers, they'd be getting tased. And now this guy is, what's he doing? He's shouting. So he's not obstructing them doing anything. He's just fucking shouting. Like
he's insulting. He's hurting their fragile egos is what he's doing.
Yeah, and I don't think that's precedence for
No.
obstruction, you know.
But
Obstruction.
I think they would get away with it, though. That's the thing. Part of the problem is that they can act with impunity, and instead of building or rebuilding, however you want to look at it, this integration into the community, no, just arm them further, and also give them unprecedented access to every citizen's communication channels. Because that can be done now, and that's where they're going. So, instead of actually treating the citizens like human beings, just log into their fucking Facebook Messenger or Snapchat or whatever the fuck drug dealers and the like are talking on these days.
Yeah, or even just browse through their YouTube channels, see what's going on. If there's any crimes. Oh, there's a crime. There's a crime. Oh, there's a crime. There's a crime. There's a crime, and pick it up from there. And it's very fucking worrying for us citizens. But these idiots don't have the foresight to kind of understand that it's not going to end well for them, because our history does show that when they go beyond the pale, so to speak, but things progress, and when people aren't happy, and when you essentially live in a police state, there's only certain outcomes that can happen, and they will happen. The more this progresses with tasers, it's only going to be a matter of time before, well, then tasers aren't enough. The next step is going to be a fully armed police force, and it's no small coincidence that we see these incremental steps. We see the changes in the uniform. We've seen it over the years where they got darker and darker, so eventually now their utility belts have everything but a gun on it. There's only space left for a handgun, and I give it 2, maybe 3 years before they're all fully armed, if we don't manage to somehow get some sort of new government in place within the next 5 years. But we'll see if that happens. Anyway, we'll progress with this, see what transpires.
Mate, listen, yes, you have. You're going back. Mate, I'm not going back anyway. You're obstructing everything. I'm not going back.
Calvin. I'm here.
Fuck off.
Get up. Get off him. Listen.
What did that cop say? Don't insult me ever again, was it?
Go back there. I think so. Yeah.
Listen.
Take your hands, relax, lad, relax. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. Listen, relax. Relax. Relax, relax, relax. Relax, lad. Take it easy.
I didn't hear it.
No, I think we went beyond it. I think he said that, don't ever insult me again.
I think, yeah, something along those lines for sure, yeah.
They're coming into my house, you little bastard.
Where's his mother? Where's Martina?
Relax.
Hey, you're going to be getting away with this. You came into my house like you take me into my house.
Stop spitting at me.
Whoa!
Look at fucking that.
What the fuck was that?
So the guy's handcuffed.
All right.
Right, and I think this is the guy who was standing on the back wall, isn't it?
Yeah, it may well be, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Same clothes.
Oh.
Getting away with this. You came into my house like you take me into my house.
Stop spitting at me. Stop spitting at me.
Ooh, buddy.
Yeah.
No. Just no.
Yeah. Like, so that's not spitting. Like, that's someone being, fully fucking abused, like has had his home invaded wrongfully, and is being, granted he's being a noisy cunt, but how could you not? What do they expect people to be? And telling them to calm fucking down?
Yeah, just roll over and take it. Allow us to do whatever the fuck we like to you, and don't complain.
Yeah, and if you dare raise your fucking voice, well, this is what happens. You get arrested for obstruction. Then, when he's handcuffed and then he's shouting in the guy's face, maybe a bit of spittle landed on his face, but he certainly didn't fucking spit at him. And even if he did, I don't think it's procedure to push somebody in the chest when their fucking hands are behind their back, cuffed.
You came into my house like you taste me into my house.
Stop spitting at me. Stop spitting in my fucking face. Stop spitting in my face.
The bastard, yeah. He's out! He's out! He's out cold! He's out cold, you bastard, yeah! Get him!
Right.
Get him up, you fucking scumbag,
I don't know if he was knocked out. When I watched it originally, I thought he banged his head, excuse me, off the ground when he was pushed.
He didn't.
No, I think he landed on his back. And then maybe there's a bit of Abby acting where it's like, okay, I'm down. I better pretend I'm knocked out. Still not great to be fucking pushed like that, but
no, that is actually seriously dangerous. That could have ended in serious injury or death.
Yeah, absolutely. Because to push like that, he's nothing to stop himself. Like he
can't balance himself. Yeah,
no. So he's just gone, and it's a miracle that he didn't crack the back of his head off the ground. And all fairness, like,
I think these people better be very fucking careful. With behavior like this, a reckoning is fucking coming.
Absolutely, it can only be a matter of time. But they'll have tasers now, so everything will be fine. Like they can just electrocute them, and don't have to go through any of this. Like save all the hassle of anything like this happening. Just a good old fashioned electrocution should put an end to it. But we have to be objective, so we'll have a look at it and see if he cracked his head or if he just lands on his back. I'm sure he's probably broken his wrist as well, given the force.
Stop spitting at me. Stop spitting in my fucking face. Stop spitting in my face.
He probably landed on his wrist. Yeah.
That's
what kept him up, I think, actually.
Yeah, so I think he didn't crack his head anyway. So we don't know if he was knocked out or not. If I was a betting man, I'd say he wasn't. And this is I don't know. I don't know what happens like under that level of stress if you go, okay, we'll just play dead, so they don't do anything else.
The bastard, yeah. He's out! He's out! He's out cold! He's out cold, you bastard, yeah! Get him! Get him up, you fucking scumbag!
Relax. I don't think he could be any more fucking relaxed. Relax. I hate these cunts with a passion, like I really fucking do.
Yeah. This ruined my night, man. Jesus.
Lads, no, you can't. All right. Wiggle, man, will you?
Carlson.
You stand back.
I am. I live here, love.
Spitting in your face. You're trying to keep him away from you, right?
Fuck you. And step back! You're the one who isn't restrained.
Yeah. How about de-escalating?
Yeah.
God,
man.
Yeah. How about an apology? How about when you rock up on the fucking scene, instead of just running into somebody's house, you stop and treat them like a human being and say, hey, listen, we're in pursuit of somebody here. We think they went into your house. Any chance we can come in just to make sure they're not there? And if the person says no, well, then you either go, okay, or you go, well, unfortunately, I have legislation to back me up. Now, it might still escalate, you know. But if they treated people like fucking human beings, and if they were actually morally superior, well, then people would naturally obey or yield.
Yeah.
Because when faced with, like, not, we could be generous, 90% of people, when they're faced with a human being who is, for all intents and purposes, morally superior, outstanding in their fucking behavior, if they make a mistake, the first thing they do will be apologize profusely for it.
Yeah.
Will probably resign on the spot. Much like like you look in Japan, you know, when Say something as trivial as a corporation puts the price up on a bar of chocolate. The CEO comes out on television and fucking apologizes and asks forgiveness from the entire fucking nation because they had to put the price of a bar of chocolate up. But in Ireland, there's nothing. No respect for people. Even for anyone who never had a bad run with the guards, even if they've been at a roadside alcohol check or speeding, you know what they're like when they stop you. They don't talk to you like you're a fucking human. They talk to you like you're a child, like you're a bold fucking child. And any level of disobedience from you, and it's like, they're itching to give you a fucking kicking, like, because you simply won't comply, even if you're within the law and you don't comply. For these guys, it's a fucking red rag to a bull. It's like, well, there's something amiss here. He must be a fucking major international criminal because he's daring to say that, I'm acting outside of my remit here. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And now they get tasers. Stand up. You can't just hands behind his back, you fucking retard. Stand up.
With the force of levitation.
Yeah, levitate, motherfucker, levitate. That's a charge as well. Is it refusing to levitate? Like, maybe that's a new one down the fucking line. Well,
I laugh, but that's what it is.
Yeah, and
he refused to comply. I told him just relax, and I told him to stand up, and he didn't do it, Your Honor.
Yeah, and like, it's easy to imagine. Like, thank God we have cameras. Because imagine how many cases have gone before this where there's no camera. And this guy goes to court. He's from Summerhill, rougher part of Dublin. I think by his own admission there, he's been arrested a few times, never been convicted, but he's been arrested a few times. He goes up in front of a judge, gives his side of the story. The judge looks at him with fucking disdain. It's like, oh yeah, here we go, another fucking scumbag spinning a yarn. And then, the saint and scholar takes the stand, and yes, he was extremely disruptive. He hindered us from carrying out a search, not only in his own premises, but in the premises of another location, then spat at me. And then the judge was like, that is this 2 years at a minimum, spitting in a guard's face. And he's gone. And he's done.
Yeah.
And
that sounds like where it's going to go,
That's where it already is. Like, it's
like for him individually, I don't know how long ago this was, but I can see it in my head that that's how it's going to go down. Because, I loathe to use the term human being for that creature, but that is not going to take any fucking personal responsibility whatsoever. So it has to be turned around on the citizen.
Yeah. So this happened, I think 2 or 3 days ago. Very, very recently.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So at least he has that. So when he does go to court, he has some level of evidence. And
witnesses,
witnesses and hard evidence that he can play in the courtroom. And it just shows that the guards acted moronically, illegally, like that's, and like that guy should be sacked. Like, could you imagine like how many times he's done something like that? And let's not forget the context. This is a guy who's surrounded by witnesses, knows people are filming, and is that fucking fragile and easily spooked that a little bit of spit gets on his face and is like, bang, to shove somebody like that. And again, handcuffed. So it's a miracle.
Yeah, he was in some altered state of consciousness where he lost track of where he was. Yeah, that's fucking scary.
Yeah.
I want to zero in on this comment by Saoirse. I went to get my passport done last year, lost the old one. From start to finish, the Garda was hostile. I don't know why, as I have no dealings with them. Plus, he screwed up the paperwork. That's my experience going into the Garda station to get a form signed. It's like, I'm sorry, am I disturbing you here or something? Like, what the fuck? This is your fucking job. This is probably the least stressful part of your job, is take a look at my ID, scan over my document, and then sign it and fucking put the stamp on it, and I'm out of your hair. Jesus Christ, God forbid you do a bit of fucking work, but you're treated like a criminal. Like, what are you doing here? You must be up to something wrong because you want to prove your identity. What the fuck is that about?
Yeah, it's shocking. The whole system essentially needs to be ripped up, and we if ever a country needed a fucking year zero moment, it's probably Ireland, like, because we never had it. When we actually got control of our, well, quote unquote, control of our own destiny, we fucked it up within a year. Like we said, that guy Michael Stein's best intentions of the world, and it is a great idea. Like, it's incredibly progressive for the time to think that, okay, well, the best way to run a country and have a police force is to have them unarmed. Like, at the time, you can imagine, like, it sounds insane, like. And I always took it that, okay, well, it's because Irish people are just so fucking weak and so obedient that we will do whatever we're told. But we wouldn't, because it makes logical sense to me that if you do indeed have guards that are morally superior, probably better than the average citizen in most ways, intellectually, physically, morally, spiritually, well, then it can be someone who you can trust in, But that's not what we select for in the guards. The case where you select for the biggest dopey cunt, the most muscular fucker that you can put on the street, and essentially beat people off the street if they get out of line. And a lot of older people, they used to reminisce. They talked to me when I was a kid, like, oh, the guards today, not like they used to be. We need the likes of Lugs Brannigan back. Like, things were better then when, they were just going around slapping people openly in the street, fucking jaywalking. No, that's not my idea of a sound society. It's one where people obey the law. One, because it's a good law. And then if you do require help, given that we're not allowed to arm ourselves, which is also fucking insane, given that the agents of the state are, receiving more and more arms every single day of the week, while everything is essentially being taken away from us. Even the right to communicate is almost being taken away from us at this stage. So we would need to select for a different type of guards. And even the numbers, like, again, in the original vision was not by sheer numbers alone, not by force alone, but by their moral superiority. That's what it would fucking take. Now, granted, you would still have, people who would, take the piss and steal out of necessity and what have you. But it's just fucking shocking that kind of, what would we call it? Okay, that ideal only lasted for one year, and I don't know if it was just because the guy was, so idealistic, because it was muted. But then, like we said, the force originally was 1,000 people. Those people weren't incredibly happy because of the makeup of the training they were receiving, because of who was training them, which is completely understandable. You've just come out of, the 1916 Rising. There's still all that fucking hatred. How could there not be? Pretty much like the North when the RUC, and then all of a sudden they magically expect that everyone on the Catholic side is going to be happy with the RUC. But in our case, it's different. Then you're taking training from the people who were previously responsible for essentially gunning you down on the fucking street. And what these guys are doing now, bursting into people's houses, interning people, beating them up in stations, forcing confessions out of people. So they had the mutiny, and then, Mr. Fine Gael came in. He put manners on the force. Like I said earlier, immediately militarized them. I think in the matter of 4 or 5 years, the force grew from like 1,000 to, I think it was like 11,000 or something like that. Something massive. And again, this fucker, he was also, I didn't know Ona Duffy, but he was also an IRA member as well. But leaned heavily towards the fascist side. So our original far right party, like Fine Gael, and still with us today, trying to up the fucking ante for the Guards. What we can do to stop it, I don't think there's anything people are going to be able to do really by lobbying politicians. I'm massively disappointed because it can only get worse. Like because now people will just look at them like things are bad enough as they are. Let's be honest. The respect for Guards, especially in the last decade, has gone down dramatically. Like because of how they act, especially around the riots. We've seen how disgusting they behave. Like straight out with pepper spray. Can't see it being any different with tasers. If people who are protesting ever get it into their heads to wear gas masks when they go to these protests, well, then the next step for those Guards will be tasers and water cannon, and that just exacerbates the situation. Then people lose more faith in the force. Then it becomes more dangerous for the Guards to be on the streets. Then it has to escalate again, where it's okay. Well, now we need. Now they need actual firearms, then the people trust them less and less. And then what happens is the force starts to become more corrupt. Nobody goes to the Guards at all. So no fucking crimes are solved or very little. And then, 10, 15, 20 years down the line, people wake up scratching their head. Well, how the fuck did we end up in a police state, It's not good news, but we desperately need to get these motherfuckers in power, out of power, as soon as possible. And it's no small task to upend the Guards as well, to reform that. I don't see how it can be reformed in the...
I mean, you have to have some kind of workable replacement, That's the only way that this is going to change. And I'm sorry, I'm just not seeing it. My main worry is like, well, where do you find suitable men who will replace the Gardaí?
Yeah, I
don't see them.
No, there's not 5,000 men. I think you could draft immediately who are easily identifiable as morally superior. So, we're probably talking but I don't know, you'd have to vet them as well, wouldn't you? Like, so, and again, you'd have to reframe the whole recruiting process for the Guards as well, because where we are at the moment is like, do you have 2 working limbs? Doesn't matter if you have 4, just 2 will fucking do. Are you
just legs?
Yeah. Can you walk? If not, can you wheel a wheelchair of your own accord? Like, are you 50, 60, 70? Fucking, are you 70, below the age of 75 and willing to do the job? If so, please apply now. And we'll give you, 20, 35 grand a year, just enough to scrape by and keep the heating on. No, it would need to be, a whole kind of root and branch change and everything. Like even the core philosophy would have to fucking change, and we have to, pay these people extremely handsomely. Because let's be honest, you're not going to just find these morally pure beings who go, oh, well, I'll do it for nothing purely because I'm so morally superior. But to pay them to a level where they're beyond corruption, maybe after 5 years in the force, they're given a house, or 10 years, given a house that's theirs for life, we'd have to kind of get into fucking Plato's Republic kind of deal, we're going to have to start choosing guardians from a very young age. But that's what we should be aiming for. Like, wouldn't it be nice to get into Dáil Éireann and see somebody standing up and advocating for an actual better society where we look at the problems, what the problems are, root and branch, and not just go, okay, well, what we need is more force. And where do they think it's going? Like, it's what? People are just going to accept it forever. We're going to accept being stood on by Guards day in, day out. We're going to be subjected to digital wallets where we won't be able to get online. without proving who we are, when we won't be able to go down the street without being stopped, and not even asked for paper, just scanned. Not even scanned by a human being, but scanned by some fucking device on top of a lamppost. Picking up your signature on your cell phone. It's like, it's very bleak. I'm not the best person to inspire hope in any form. Really. I'm very good at identifying a problem. But that's half the fucking battle.
Yep.
And it's not getting better because, like we said, they're having to recruit from the very bottom of the barrel. I think any decent guard they're already gone. I saw a clip on an RTE program online today. I think it was that redheaded guy, Hector O'Quinnagon, and he was in Australia. And there's apparently the police in Australia have recruited more Irish guards this year than the Irish guards have recruited, which tells you something. So even the workings inside the Garda, we don't know what that's like. It must be a fucking nightmare, like, because like you said, every time you go in, even if it's for a form, they're all fucking miserable. It's like nobody actually seems like they want to be there. Like anytime they're on television, when they have a spokesperson on, it's the greatest organization in the fucking world. This new commissioner is the business. It's like he makes Drew Harris look like a fucking choir boy. Like he's only in the job a couple of weeks, and we have the rollout of fucking tasers. The water cannons are out on force. There's somebody coughed up in City West, and there's 1,000 guards up there. He's got all the new equipment in. Yeah, it's a joke, but it's no easy task to overturn a corrupt police force and bring in a new shiny platonic ideal of what a police force should be. But I think that's what we should be fucking aiming for, and not just as a police force, but as citizens as well. Like, because is civics even a topic in school anymore? It's not, is it? It's gone. Like what it is to be a citizen. I know there's talk of global citizenship. That's the new thing. That's everywhere. But no talk in school about what it is to be a citizen. What what responsibility citizens should have, other than do what you're fucking told. Bring the guard into second class, so all the kids look up at him and go, "Oh my God, look at this fucking giant who has." Who could take me away and put me in prison. I better obey immediately. Then now go home and color in a picture of this frightening fucking being that you just witnessed. Like, and what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a policeman too. My 5-year-old came home a few weeks ago and said that to me.
Oh no. Yeah,
I haven't spoken to him since. Like he's sleeping in the back garden. But it should be something that people want to aspire to, to protect your community, to actually be a guardian of the peace. And so if anyone's still laboring under that myth, it's done. It was never there to begin with. They were never guardians of the peace. It was aspirational. They're agents of the state. They are a police force with the emphasis on force. And that force is getting stronger and stronger as the days goes by. Can you guess how many different types of weapons they have? Do you want to see a picture of all their guns? I was shocked. I was absolutely fucking shocked.
All right, let's see that.
They have this many weapons available to them. It made me want to actually join the guards just to get a few weapons out of there, and see if I can hang on to them. Because they do lose them every now and again. I think there was a couple of cases where they left submachine gun behind a McDonald's or somewhere like that, or it fell out of the car.
Yes.
Right, there we go. There's see that screen? Look at that. Isn't that fucking amazing? Like
that's a full set for an army.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, isn't it? So my knowledge of weapons is dire. I was going to label them, but does it make any difference?
No, I think we all kind of know what they're good for.
Yeah. So two different. It's nice to have some choice. So two different handguns to choose from. A couple of submachine guns. A shotgun, just in case you have difficulty getting through the door. This is a special type of shotgun. This one can fire what do they call it? Beanbags.
Oh,
Yeah. So again, they don't have to kill you immediately. Like they'll fire a couple of beanbags at you first. Yeah, but I don't know. I think I'd rather be hit with a beanbag than electrocuted. That would be my first choice. And I'm probably more likely to comply if somebody's pointing one of these fucking things at me. It's like, oh, okay, fair enough. Well, you win. There's, let's not escalate this any further. And then the nice sniper rifles. Just like, why? What did I need them for?
I mean, especially that, actual fucking long distance one. It camping out with your spotter under a fucking
a Charlie Kirk special, I think is what it's called.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, when would you ever need to, take someone out at that distance?
I don't fucking know. Like, that thing looks like it takes someone out from a mile away or something, doesn't it? Like, yeah. I don't fucking know. Like, when has the need ever arose? I think we've had maybe 2 or 3 incidents where somebody's holed up in their house with a shotgun or something like that, and then the guards normally burst in the door and kill them anyway. So maybe that's just easier. Maybe it's more economical. Just one bullet will do the job instead of all of them running in the door going buck fucking wild, shooting rounds off like there's no tomorrow. One of these machine guns as well has armor-piercing bullets as standard issue, so that's nice. Not even a bulletproof vest is going to. And I wonder what they need them for, because I know crime's increased, but it hasn't increased surely to that level where there's gangs roaming the streets and people are dying in crossfire every day of the fucking week. Like, no.
Like they never really had to use them, like it must be for something else further down the line. Like, let me remind you that the first thing that Drew Harris said when he was appointed commissioner is the biggest threat to the security of the Irish state is dissident republicanism. And lo and behold, barely a year when he's out of office, what do we have? These LARPers.
Oh, yeah. What's he doing now? Has he gone back to the intelligence services in the UK?
No, he's living rent-free for the past 7 years in a house off of Spa Street. It's called
Spa Street.
Yeah, just off of Phoenix Park. I never knew that there was a place called Spa Street in Dublin. It's very fitting.
Yeah, unfucking real. Yeah, so I remember initially when the armed response unit came into effect, it was magically when the Celtic Tiger got shot in the head, and people were furious and were calling for blood, and they magically set up the armed response units in the same constituencies where the kind of 4 major politicians happened to live. Like Brian Cowan got one immediately, an armed response unit. Yeah, I think Brian Lenihan as well. And 2 other people I can't remember. That's where they popped up. And that might just be coincidence, but again, I don't think it's genuinely for our protection, the protection of the citizen, because they can't protect us. I think it's to protect their masters.
And also, I think maybe it's just cool toys. I remember, was it maybe back in 2014, 2015, I was on a bus in Knocknacarra in Galway. If anyone knows Galway and the inner city, they know what Knocknacarra is known for. A few estates there, travelers have been moved into. It's just kind of a mix of lower and upper class people. So, it's a hotspot for drugs. I was on the bus there on the way into the Galway city, and there was a scanger on his phone talking really loudly for some reason. Just paint the picture. A guy in his 20s maybe in a tracksuit, and he was saying how so he was just walking along there in Knocknacarra with 10,000 yokes in his jocks, and then armed response unit just pulls up next to him, gets out of the car, points guns, and says, "Get the fuck on the ground, get the fuck on the ground." This is what the armed response unit is for, is just, just to be over the top. Like, this kid isn't going to fucking, I don't know, reach into his jocks and pull out an Uzi,
Yeah, definitely fucking not. So I saw someone in the chat there, I don't know if it's too far back, talking about squashing the differences between North and South, and that the problem now is a Muslim problem. Yeah, it's part of one. It's a small part of many problems, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's no one simple answer here, unless you want to say the answer is that we are losing our identity, and the only way that we can get back to sanity is finding our identity again and being strong within that. That gets rid of all those other problems, because when we find our true selves as a nation, as a tribe, as a big family, I don't think any of these people are going to want to, fuck with us.
They won't, and that's an excellent fucking point that isn't made often enough. That it's defeatist to try and, you think of all these problems like, oh well, how do we solve this problem? Like, how do we solve the guard problem? How do we solve the education problem? How do we solve the Muslim problem? How do we solve the immigration? How do we solve the African problem? How do we solve the Indian problem? You just
tiny hats,
yeah. Oh yeah, let's just forget about them, like the Mexicans, yes.
Yeah.
How do we stop all these fucking problems? It's impossible. So you end up you become completely demoralized and just go, well, what's the fucking point? Yeah. Someone passed me the heroin. But yeah, you're right. It's just to remember, who you are as an Irish person, and to look back at our past and to learn from that and draw strength from that. Again, it kind of bugs me a lot to fall into the trap of, okay, well, let's recreate what happened 800 years ago. But we lost so much, and we never really had a fucking chance to bring it back. We never had a true revival, we had small, bursts of Gaelic revival, usually in the upper classes, and fair fucking play. Yeah. They tried, they
and it kept it alive. It was life support that was direly needed. Yeah.
So we have to do that, and we have to do it on an individual level, and on a community level as well. But that's where it starts, just to know who you are, what it is to be Irish, what our ancestors had. And I don't just mean 100 years ago, we're going back as far as, Brehon laws, and, what type of people, even if we don't know who they were exactly, but what type of ideals did those people stand for? It wasn't for nothing that we were known as the island of saints and scholars, unless that was another complete fucking lie as well. But it wasn't. Because we had our own intellectual class, we had our own priesthood class, we had our own laws. We didn't even need a fucking police force, for Christ's sake. Things ran that well where we didn't have any sort of police force. It was just because we had an honor system, and we actually had those people who were morally and intellectually superior. And if you had a problem, you would go to those people because you knew that you would actually get justice, not that you were dealing with a justice system that, has the appearance of justice. You're dealing with something that actually was just. And even if it wasn't, that's what we should be fucking aiming for and drawing on that. And then to be able to go to someone in your community if there is a dispute and say, look, I'm having this fucking problem. And both of you know that if you go to this party, well, that you're actually going to get a fair shake. Not that you're going to be looked at, okay, well, you're from this class and you're from this class. And because you're from the higher class, well, then I will take your word for it. We used to have a system in, reverse of that. It's like, oh, well, you're from a higher class. Well, you should know fucking better. This person from the lower class with a lower education and, has less money, they don't know any better. So it's incumbent upon you, who are better, to instruct and teach your brother of what should be going on. And you shouldn't, be brought down to that fucking level. And people had honor prices based on that, and we don't see that in the Dáil. And it's a hard sell as well. It really is, like, to get that message across to a large audience, because people just, I think naturally kind of have knee-jerk reactions. What the fuck is this hippie talking about? Or they blank out, So I'm sure there's many ways it can be gamed where it doesn't even have to be spoken about. But if of the off chance that eventually some decent nationalist organization gets into power, well, then we would only hope that there's an intellectual class to go along with it who could actually get into the bowels of the system and change it, where you'd have someone like a Pádraig Pearse who would actually, get into education and grab a hold of the education system and actually fucking, shake it up and, make something real of it, where you could have an education system given all the fucking resources, where we go out and we hire the best teachers in the fucking world. And then every generation you create a new generation of intellectuals who have at their very core what it is to be Irish and a nationalist ideal and not some internationalist horseshit. But I'm not going to, no, but. No, I'm sick of buts. No, but.
Yeah.
Just that's fucking it. And that's what we have to put our heart and soul and minds to, in whatever way we can, Okay.
Nice.
We'll have a quick look at the chat just to see what's going on.
Sure.
Then I want to move on to talk about flags. Yeah, you're not fond of the Tricolour, are you? You've never liked it as aesthetically or for what it stands for as well, kind of.
Yeah, no, yeah, both. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Aesthetically, it's shite. Tricolours, come on, boring. And then, well, why orange in there? I'm sorry, please go away.
Yeah, it should be an arrow attached to the orange part, like our exit.
Back to Britain.
Let's say guards are retarded. God love them. Yeah, in many ways they are, but that's what makes them even more dangerous because, retards need to have retard strength.
Yep.
God love them when they lose the run of themselves. They just lash out at anybody and everybody. Caligula, hi lads. Hi Caligula. I don't know if you're talking to us or other people in the chat. The Irish now have white guilt, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I think with the Irish, we've always kind of suffered with guilt or been prone to guilt, and I don't think it's really unique to Irish people. It seems much more of a European thing where people can be easily controlled with guilt and through shame, and that goes back a long way into our past as well, where it was enough to be shamed, because to be shamed in your community and to shame your family was enough to correct behavior. But that, like anything else, that can be weaponized. I mean, we've seen how the left has used that guilt and shame. In other countries, Middle East, shame's not such a big thing. They're more concerned with having your hands chopped off, so that works over there. Like the fear of punishment is much more visceral than the fear of shame. Where on the other hand, you have Asians again, where my brother lived in Thailand for a long time, and they're worse than Irish people. Like they call it to lose face in that society. It couldn't be anything worse. Like you would almost execute yourself rather than lose face.
Well, they often do. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. It has been weaponized where people, have this kind of white guilt and this kind of notion that Ireland owes the world something, or now that we are wealthy, we have to help the rest of the world out with it as well. And even to go as far as some people, kind of having not even a revisionist look at history, but looking at Irish history through the lens of Irish people aiding the colonial UK, because a lot of the soldiers in the English army happen to be from Ireland. A lot of priests went to places like Nigeria, and the nuns went to Nigeria, and therefore, because of that, somehow we owe other people. But to my mind, all those people are dead. I don't give a fuck what they did. They didn't represent Ireland. They went there of their own volition. I'm not responsible for the sins of my father. My sons and daughters won't be responsible for my sins. So anyone who comes at me with any of that kind of collective guilt, and especially collective ancestral guilt, go fuck yourself. Probably a good boot in the hole. And we'll say, well, here's a good kick in the hole from my ancestors. Oh, that's Mark. Hey, Mark. I was worried about you. Good to hear you. I haven't heard from you in a while. I'll give you a shout after the show, probably tomorrow. In all fairness, I'll give you a call, see what the crack is. Fuck their mamas. Okay, I have no idea what that means. Right, we'll jump the flags. So yeah, the tricolour, it's been problematic for a long time, hasn't it? It used to, well, the myth was it used to represent the country. It represents all of us. The green for the nationalists, the orange for our friends in the north, and then the white to symbolise peace, much like our guardians of the peace, to symbolise the peace between the two tribes that remain on the island. And then the nasty Republicans hijacked it. They hijacked it from the state, and they took hold of it, and it became a dirty thing. And again, they did hijack it. Well, not hijack it, but they used it because it wasn't being fucking used by anyone else, really, was it? There was no real pride in it. And aesthetically, I agree with you. It's fucking awful. Green and orange are just, you wouldn't buy a green jumper unless it was to support your team, or you wouldn't buy anything orange. Like, you can understand if you're Dutch, maybe. But then it makes sense. But yeah, so they, commandeered the flag, and then anytime anyone really seeing a tricolour, you immediately association was the IRA. Someone in the IRA died, it's draped over a coffin, so it has that connotation. And then I think that maybe turned half the country away from the flag initially as well, because there was an awful lot of people who despised the IRA, and for different reasons. Some people were with good reason. Other people just merely because it's like they're against the state and they're involved in violence, and it's terrible, it's shocking. Like they should, no armed struggle should ever exist at all, and anyone who does engage in armed struggle is a fucking demon of the highest order.
Yeah.
So then they ended the troubles. They gave the flag back to the Irish state, and again they did nothing with it. They said we don't need it anymore. We have a new flag. We've got this beautiful blue flag with all these stars around it, and it's a much nicer flag. We like it. We've got 2 new flags coming down the line. We've got this rainbow flag. I don't know if anyone's seen it. We kind of like that. It represents everybody. I think there's one color missing in it, but that's more of the Christian rainbow flag. This is more of a satanic one. There's 6 colors on it. And so the state, they said, right, we don't want it. We'll just leave it there. Just put it up on a couple of buildings so people still remember what country they're actually in. Tourists like to see it flying around. And then I think in some kind of deep underground dungeon, this mysterious group of far-right agitators emerged, and they decided, okay, we're going to steal the flag. And we are going to use it. And so then all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, the Irish flag, the tricolour, re-emerges as a symbol of the far right and the new Irish dissidents, those who actually have, I don't know if they refound their national identity or they're the only ones left with any resemblance of it to begin with. So there's, they still class themselves as first and foremost Irish. They're not Europeans. They're not anything else other than Irish. When you ask them, like, where are you from? Ireland. Who are you? I'm Irish. What does it mean to be Irish? And they probably couldn't tell you, because essentially it's just an overwhelming feeling. It's everything and almost impossible to describe. Not because there's nothing to it, but because it's every fiber of their being. And again, it's become a symbol of resistance at all the IPAS centres. And government isn't very happy about it. They've been telling people like that, anyone who's flying it under that guise is besmirching the flag, that it is indeed a flag of identity. And they were almost about to start pulling it down from lampposts and anywhere else it's been hung. But they thought better of it because it would be an absolute fucking propaganda coup for anybody who is hoisting that flag. So they said, no, we can't do that. What we're going to do is we're going to reclaim it. We're going to take it back. We're going to take it away from the far right and remind everybody in the country of what the flag actually means. So
it's not a good idea either. I don't see that working.
No,
No.
no, nothing they will do will
No.
work. They don't have the imagination, the creativity, or the they don't have the right to do it. They're on the wrong side of fucking history. They've abandoned it. They openly said they hate everything Irish. They hate sovereignty. They hate sovereignty is they don't hate any notion of any idea of backward looking sovereignty. I don't know what backward looking sovereignty is like as opposed to forward looking sovereignty, but we know what they mean. Like it's like, well, if it's anything got to do with the past and those people who consider themselves Irish, we want nothing to do with that at all. So they've engaged their intellectual army, also known as the NGO social social enterprise complex,
Right.
to start a campaign. And so they've been busy at work releasing videos and getting the average everyday person to add to their hashtag OurFlag and to provide uplifting stories about what the flag means to you. I think we should do one and submit it, and everyone else should.
Yeah, that's how you just shove this back in their face, is that you use that vehicle because they're opening up the lane.
Yeah, they want people to tell them what the flag means to you. So make your little video.
Tell them.
Yeah, and if you don't want to show your face, maybe put on a balaclava. Put a warning up and just say, AI generated or something like that. Just don't think you're the next fucking reincarnation.
Get a squirty water gun. Hold it against your chest.
Yeah, a dildo gun or something like that, just to stay on theme. Let me see, where are they gone? No, Garda weapons. There we go. Okay. I know it's rent-a-cunt.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, look, like how did that woman ever manage to get punched at all is a mystery to fucking. I can't believe that she's made an actual career out of being punched, and we'll never get rid of her. You know that, don't you? Like she will be president of Ireland one day.
No, don't even. Yeah, but because she's got nothing else, absolutely nothing else.
No. Before this, she was working in a coffee shop. Not that there's anything wrong with working in a coffee shop.
Yeah, it's just not good enough for her.
Yeah. And there's no going back to it. It's like she's had a taste for fame.
Yeah.
That's got to be terrible, isn't it? Like, so it takes someone, with an intact ego to be able to take on fame and then to go, do you know what? I had it. I'm done with it. And I'm just going back to live my life as I normally would. It's very hard for someone to, just ease back into that system. And I think for Natasha, it's almost impossible that she has to actively seek out this kind of shite. And by her own admission as well, I think it was on that dopey show on Virgin Media, Dinner with the Enemy, where she said she makes no money.
Oh.
She said people think that she's making a mint from all her NGO work, but no. Apparently she's not making anything, which I find hard to believe.
Yeah, I mean that would be a tremendous personal failure, to be honest, wouldn't it? I mean, it's easy enough, to make money off of being one of these creatures in Ireland. Like,
yeah, there's like 6 to 8 odd billion euros flying around. If I had my mind to it, I could, in a matter of a week, I could pretty much set up an organization and probably get 15 to 30 grand in funding for some horseshit organization. That I'd actually have to do some work around it as well. But it wouldn't be difficult, even as an artist, to just classify yourself as an artist and to put in for this grant or that grant. You get yourself 5 grand in a couple of months once you get used to the system. So I find it hard that she's not making any money at all. Like, she's had a documentary, she's been on Virgin Media God knows how many fucking times.
So she has connections, like she has handlers even, maybe.
Yeah, so if she's not making money, there's something fucking wrong with her. Like, she's just stupid or punch drunk or something like that. I don't know. So we have a listener anyway. I don't know who this woman is. This is some Indian woman who advocates for refugees in Ireland now. She used to be one thing or other. Now she's a psychotherapist. So that's all we need, a fucking psychotherapist from India telling white people what's wrong with them. I imagine 9 times out of 10 is you have a problem with you're a racist. We need to medicate you to get the racism out of you.
I'm Dill. I'm Natasha, and we're here to encourage you to join the #OurFlag campaign. Show what the Irish flag means to you.
And if you want to get involved, you don't have to be crazy like us, taking a video out in the middle of the street. You can.
Oh yeah, that's real crazy. Going into the street and making a video.
Yeah, like
nobody's doing that.
No, haven't seen it anywhere. Like nobody's. If only people had cameras where they could easily point them at themselves and make fucking videos. Jesus Christ, Natasha.
Just post the photo of the flag and with the caption what it means to you. And any way you can, just get involved and post #OurFlag with what this flag means to you, because it means diversity, it means community, it means love and hope to me.
Oh, I thought you were asking me what the flag means to me. But now you're telling me what the flag means.
Yeah, we're giving you a hint, planting a seed in people's minds of what they're expecting other people to say. So, yeah. So they're not, So, another dopey kind of primary school level
it really
propaganda campaign.
That's
it's like
exactly what it is. She's a primary school teacher giving us this fucking color in by numbers fucking thing to keep us occupied.
Yeah. And this is the great thing, not from our perspective, but from their perspective, because a lot of money that goes into the NGO system, even I call it the third space, but it actually is. So the likes of social enterprises and what have you, it's for school programs. So generally, when one of these organizations gets money, the easiest way to get the grant is to go to whatever organization it is that's giving out the money. Say it's the EPA. You go, you approach, you write your submission, send it into the EPA, and you tell them that as part of the program, if you receive the funds, that you will go to 200 primary schools throughout the country and you will run workshops. And those workshops will be based around whatever the funding is for. Now, I don't know how much funding, if any, has gone into this OurFlag business, or if these people have just taken it upon themselves to. But I know it's the Irish Anti-Racist Network and all those goons who set up. So if they haven't got money for it now, whatever money they have received, which will be unrestricted funding, which means they can essentially spend that funding whatever way they want, they will use that to pump it into this. And when it comes to their end of year accounts, they can give it to an auditor and say, look, well, we spent 20 grand on this, and then they can get more funding. Because the way the funding system works, if you don't spend the budget you're allocated, well, then when it comes around to the next budget, it's like, oh, well, you only spent half the money that we gave you. So, you're only going to need half that money for next year. So now you have to spend all the budget and even have a little bit of overrun. So then you can go to along next year and go, oh, well, we need more budget this year because we've taken on an extra fucking, bipedal trans monkey, like part-time. And that's how the whole system rolls. So they would then, I wouldn't be surprised to see this come up in a primary school setting where it's a 1 week or a 2 week project for all the children to get together to let them know what the flag means to them, but in a guided, meditative kind of setting. Because not so long ago, all my children, it was parent-teacher meeting time. And so obviously you go into the school to have meetings with the teacher, but you have always having a look at all the artwork on the wall. And that's what it all is. It's all about shared identity, flags and pictures and projects of every country in the world, and how we're all essentially one. It's kind of understand. You can understand it because they have a lot of foreign kids in the school, so they have to make the foreign kids feel kind of integrated. But that's the wrong way to do it. The way you get foreign kids to feel integrated is, okay, you're here. While you remain here, you're fucking Irish. That's it. There's nothing else. If you want to stay here, if you want to be part of this country, well, then the condition is you're Irish. Where did you come from? That's fucking wonderful. We'll learn about that in geography. but we're not having a special project just to make you feel fucking special, you know. You may as well say, you know, Johnny from fucking Belfast has come to live in Galway, so now the whole system in Galway has to kowtow to the lad from Belfast for the next fucking 12 years just so he doesn't feel left out. No, I know some people would like that, but unfortunately we can't have that.
Exactly. Thank you so much for watching this, and share away and encourage all your friends and your family and your work colleagues, and play your part and be part of a #OurFlag campaign. Woo!
The Irish flag to me is important because it reminds me of the promise made in the proclamation that all children of this land should be treated equally.
All right. I think it was all children of the land or children of the nation? And I don't think it said anything about anyone who fucking lands here, which this is what this is alluding to, like all children of the land. What does that even fucking mean? Does it mean if you step on the land, then you're a child of the land? Or I can't imagine she means it in any other frame of reference other than anybody who manages to get here is magically Irish, and therefore you can claim that you are Irish because that's what the flag stands for. Anyone who could make it to mystery fucking land of Ireland, once you get here, you step foot on the land, you are now a child of the land, and you get to call it home. I don't fucking think so.
Sorry, before you carry on, it just because somebody put this in my head last week when we were looking at those guys LARPing as the IRA, and there was the Tricolour behind them. And someone, I forget who in the chat, sorry about this, but they pointed out that you can still see the creases on the flag from it being taken out of the wrapper, right? And here we have it again, just on the other side of the political continuum. This flag, I mean, I despise it, I loathe it, but it's supposed to not just be a fucking prop.
Yeah.
You know? Fucking hell.
Yeah, we've reclaimed it in this morning's post. Look at it. That's what it is. It's like, you know, obviously somebody's purchased 100 flags, sent them out to all these organizations, or even ironed a fucking thing. Have some respect for the flag. Like, these people are complaining that, you know, the flags that are going up around the country, people putting on lampposts, that are not being hung in accordance with the rules and regulations around flying the tricolour. Look at this. They even have it fucking backwards. Isn't it? The green part supposed to be, it's not orange, white, and green. It's fucking green, white, and orange. Oh yeah, I can't. I'm on the main screen there. I'm trying to press play from the main screen. That just won't work. Now, where did we go? There we are.
The Irish flag to me means a place where it's inclusive for everybody.
The Irish flag for me means when I travel abroad, people get excited when they see it because of how much respect they have for Irish culture.
Oh, fuck.
And
what does that even fucking mean? When you're abroad, why would they see a flag when you're abroad? What are you wearing it like a cape or something?
Yeah,
walking around fucking Amsterdam? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And it's just the same thing, just being repeated in a different fucking way. Yeah. These people have no fucking personality or true fucking opinion.
No. Yeah. Because I don't think most people, like, there's never a conscious thought, is it? Have you ever just needed to sit down and go, well, you know, what does the flag actually mean to me? And given it, you know, deep, and then come up with a, you know, a thesis, or you were inspired to write an essay on what the flag means. It's a fucking flag. It just represents the country, you know?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's taking on new symbolism now because it's you know, what it is, it's a rallying, it's a symbol to rally people too, you know? Well, at least they're hanging it the right way, like upside down as a distress signal. That's what the fucking world needs to see. Yes, indeed, the country is in distress.
The Irish flag is a flag I am proud of.
Symbolizes my home, carried by peacekeepers in war zones.
Recognizes our independence. Is about unity.
You know, all these people, like, do they travel back in time? Like, this is very 1990s, isn't it? Like, look at this. Like, like, I haven't seen one of those fucking coats. Like, Auntie used to have one of those back in 1990. Like, and This is like early goth, isn't it? It's like before we got white makeup into the country. Very 90s. Very middle class looking as well, I have to say.
Flag I am proud of. Symbolizes my home, carried by peacekeepers in war zones.
Recognises our independence. Is about unity. Celebrates the wins of our sports people.
The Irish flag represents the Ireland we want, one of welcome.
Ireland makes me...
I don't care. Shut up. I'm not looking for your opinion. Fuck off back to Nigeria.
Yeah. And leave the nose ring here. No, actually, bring it fucking with you.
Yeah.
That they need to be banned. Like,
yeah, and bring that fucking flag with you too. It's dirty now. Don't want anything to do with it.
Why is that? I didn't hear you piping up with the Ukrainian.
Feel safe.
Ireland for me is protection and confidence in the future.
The Irish flag was
protection and confidence in the future.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
What the fuck does that even mean? Like
Slavic broken English, man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
This isn't proper journalism. She needs to be challenged there and then. Jeremy Paxman style.
Ireland for me is protection and confidence in the future.
And who stole Gavin Pepper's microphone? Like, that's Gavin Pepper's full-size microphone.
The Irish flag was carried across the world by Irish refugees.
When? Like, what? No, it wasn't. Like,
I mean, they were too poor to have flags.
When did the Tricolour even, come into existence? Like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't on the coffin ships, like.
No, when was the last Irish refugee? Like, 18 fucking, 60 or something like that.
With maybe like 2 or 3 exceptions throughout the whole of the existence of the flag, everyone else who went to the New World just completely fucking forgot that Ireland even existed.
Yeah.
Never mind the fucking flag.
Yeah, and that's it. When you're fleeing because of starvation, it's like, well, did anyone bring the flag? Where's the fucking flag? I'm not going. Fuck it. I know all our life savings are, to get the ticket for the boat, but I'm not leaving without the flag. I need to bring the flag with me because that's the most important thing when you're fleeing for your life or starvation. You must bring the old sod's flag with you that it doesn't actually exist yet.
We can now offer refuge to people who need it.
Can you? Good for fucking you. Well, open your door. And you take them in. Like, what's this? The royal we? Is it we can now because we've a bit of money now? Like, sure, we're flash. Sure, we can. Everybody can come into the fucking house. That's nice.
That must be why we're all so fucking comfortable and can just easily pay our way in the world. Yeah,
I like that logic. If we take that to its logical conclusion with everything, you're in a lot of trouble, darling. In many ways that I'm not going to say will get me into trouble with many people.
The Irish tricolour with its green, white, and orange bands was...
Who? Do you remember this dude?
No.
Dudette? Do you remember dinner with...
Oh my. Okay. It's just the endless recycling of the same fucking characters.
It's our favourite tranny from Dinner with the Enemy. Which I have to say is very impressive. Yeah. I would never know this was a woman. This was a woman. That's what they're called, isn't it? They're still called that, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, whatever the fuck we want to call it. No, like, in real life, it won't be long before you figure it out. But yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I would never have known just by looking. And even when he was talking, he said, all right, that's a dude. But if you get into an actual conversation with him about anything, it would become pretty apparent very quickly that there's something amiss here. Like, what is it? Okay, you're homosexual? No, I see. It's really a process of elimination. And either very tall or in a very small room, because his head almost seems to be touching the ceiling, and his head is huge, or that's a tiny lampshade. Or it could just be perspective. I believe that's the thing as well.
Designed to tell the story of this island. A story of Anthem, which is unity in Irish. The green band of our flag is to represent the oldest traditions that we have on this island. The orange is to represent those who arrived later on. And the powerful white band in
the white band in the middle is to represent the bandage that you have to wear around your vagina for 6 months. Because they scooped it out and attached a part of your forearm.
Faggotized.
You got it in there. Yeah, faggotized. Keeping the fucking eyebrow appointments up though. Not fully male. You know, do you manicure your eyebrows? Is there any guys out there who do this kind of shit? I kind of shave mine every now and again when they get too bushy. But,
you faggotized.
All right. Fucking hell. Say I'll go for a haircut next. Like, come on, play it. Faggotized.
the middle is to stand for Síochána, which is peace.
Pronounce that again for me. This is how you know when somebody is actually a faggot and they speak Irish. They overpronounce every fucking vowel. Especially the H's. Like, you couldn't just say Síochána like, 95% of the people in Ireland. I'm sure some native speaker beyond me knows that's actually how it's pronounced.
Which is peace, and it's placed there to have peace between us all in our country.
Hang on, I have to hear that.
Who arrived later on, and the powerful white band in the middle is to stand for Síochána, which is peace, and it's placed there to have peace between us all.
It's like
queers.
It's like when someone like overly pronounces a word in French or something to make sure that you know what class they come from.
Oh yeah.
Like have you ever heard fucking Alexander McCurris from the Duran is terrible for this. Every time he's talking about Budapest or Budapest, it's like, what the fuck, man? Just
yeah, that's really fucking irritating. Like,
lately, the symbol of our flag is being pushed forward as a division and separation when it was put in place for Anthem agus Síochána, which is unity and peace.
Man. And you know what? She failed to point out, like, who are the people who came after?
Yeah.
Can you give them a specific name? There's something to do with that color in particular.
Yeah. Sure, it was like the fucking 1960s, like just after the Civil War. That's what happened. Like, LSD wasn't invented in the 50s; it was actually invented in Ireland shortly after the Civil War, where both sides just took a massive dose of LSD, got together, and said, dude, what are we doing? Like, this really means nothing. Like, these bodies we even existed aren't real. The first iteration of it was actually a psychedelic flag, but squares just couldn't handle it, so they came up with that. Let's do something for the plebs so they can understand it in real terms. Green, nationalists, orange, unionists, and the Síochána in the middle for the peace amongst all peoples. Fuck off, faggot.
Hashtag OurFlag campaign by just simply taking a photo with the flag with rather friends, family, alone, or with colleagues even.
Who speaks like that?
I mean, yeah, it's shite, man.
You faggotized.
Take a photo with friends, colleagues, family, or even alone.
It's corporate speak, man.
Yeah, like, could you not just say, like, anywhere, take a picture anywhere,
Yeah, with anyone, the people you care about, Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, with a homeless person, as you're shitting on his neck, like, take a picture of the flag. Wow, was that shallow leakage there?
And share your story of hope and inclusion. Let us reclaim the tricolour and proudly fly our flag for the symbol of peace and unity. What it was.
It's interesting that they have to say, let us reclaim the tricolour. So that means it's ours then. So is this a declaration of war when someone tries to reclaim the flag, when they try to take the flag from you? That's what it sounds a little bit like to me. They're trying to reclaim the flag. I don't think so. One, our numbers are far bigger than this guy's numbers. We know that because the same fucking people keep re-emerging campaign after campaign. There's no new faces. It's Natasha. It's now this guy who got his start on Dinner with the Enemy. I don't know where he was before that. He probably works for Tenny or one of those organizations.
Yeah.
But again, it's the same 5 or 6 faces that are at the front of every one of these campaigns.
Actually entail for not separation and division. We are stronger as unity than we are divided.
That doesn't make sense, does it?
No, that's just shit grammar. After that corporate speak,
Yeah. And he could have edited it, couldn't he? Like, it's not like there's a high production value to any of this. So it's like, you know, just, okay, take 2. We are better together. Not we are better unity. We are divided. Okay.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Celine Kim. I have been living in Ireland for quite some time.
Oh, the lady boy.
I work.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're including the lady boys now, the Thai lady boys.
That's what I thought as well.
Right.
I tried to find out if she is indeed a lady boy. It was to look at the size of those fucking shoulders. Like, that's then generally the test. If you can fit 2 necks onto the shoulder, it's a man. So you get your proportions. But I think anybody from Thailand / Cambodia, you have to ask that question straight away, though. Just like, is it a lady boy? Like, I want papers. I want some sort of NCT and a full logbook going all the way back before I engage in anything like this. But this is Miss Planet Ireland or something like this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she's representing Ireland in this beauty pageant. I hadn't heard of it before. It's not Miss Universe, it's Miss Planet or something like that. But I didn't know there was an interplanetary fucking beauty contest. But yeah, she's representing Ireland.
You know what? Hang on a
Irish
sec.
beauty.
Her video is mirrored. So the flag is orange, white, green. This is not the first time we've seen the flag reversed in this campaign.
But yeah, that has to be deliberate, doesn't it? Because look, I don't know if they put these captions in, because the flag is correct on the captions, green, white, and orange. But down here, it's orange, white, and green. So it is actually an inversion of the flag. And whether that's good spot, whether that's deliberate or not, I don't think it really matters, because it says everything in and of itself, doesn't it?
They don't care. At the very least, they don't care.
Yeah, and it's sending a message to us that the flag that these people actually represent is nothing but an inversion of the Irish flag.
As a school teacher and also a representative of the Cambodian community, this year I
school teacher.
Yeah. Wow.
Now, I did some research. People will be happy. She is involved in adult education.
Oh, well.
So she's not allowed near the children at the moment. So she works for one of the educational training boards, and her gig is teaching refugees how to speak English.
Oh, yeah. It's not the worst thing to be doing.
No, but there shouldn't be a need. You know, there should be a requirement before you get here. Is that you must be able to speak the fucking language, you know?
Yeah, communicate with the other people in the country. Yeah,
that's just very important. 1, be white. 2, already be Irish. 3, be able to speak English. Rules in no particular order.
I have the honor and privilege to representing Ireland on an international stage beauty pageant. So today I would like to use my voice to...
That's not your voice, that's your breasts.
raise the awareness and also send out a little reminder of what the Irish flag means to me, to us, and everyone around the world.
Who's Earth?
Lately.
that's her cousin. Earth Pink Joy.
raise the awareness and also send out a little reminder of what the Irish flag means to me, to us, and everyone around the world. Lately, I
Those
have been
immigrants have not a fucking chance with her.
Yeah, I know. Earth? Like, like, the fuck is Earth? Yeah, roll call of you, mystery. Like, Earth is registered, but we haven't heard from him in months.
Thinking a lot about what the Irish flag really stands for. It is not just a symbol of identity, but also something that speaks to who we are as people. For me, it represents hope, compassion, and the kind of solidarity that has always gotten us through tough times.
What?
What are you fucking talking about? Where? It's very simple. There's 3 fucking colors. They're in a very standard tricolor format. And then where in the history exactly? You know, like, where is the symbolism you're just divining out of nowhere? Anything could possibly mean anything now.
Yeah, that's
I
essentially
could
it.
say that you're really a man masquerading as a woman. And you know, that's not, you know, there's nothing, you can't say anything about that to me, because, you know, if you can make shit up, I can too. That's how this works.
It's amazing, isn't it? Like, who thought a flag? It means a multitude of different things to a multitude of different people.
Huh, that's going to work out.
Yeah. Hang on. What do you need? What? You're talking lower. You have to speak louder so I can hear you. Are you embarrassed? Are you shy? What do you need? Yes. There you go. Have you got a lighter? Yeah, all right. All right. Get out! Where were we?
Ladyboy.
Yeah, there's flags are so subjective. Who fucking knew? She may not have it at all. Change the colors, like, that's subjective. Like, the green's actually red to me, and the white is pink, and the orange is blue.
Or just have a white flag.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Surrender, fuck it. we give up. Like, all right. Let me get back to the video.
Let's be honest, things aren't easy at the moment. Wages aren't keeping up.
Is this a fucking party political broadcast, or what's going on? Like,
yeah,
she has notions, doesn't she? Of
yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Let's be honest. Things are hard. Especially below the desk. like,
Jesus Christ.
Rent is through the roof. Housing seems out of reach for almost everyone. And I could feel the pressure every day.
Shut up! Just stop! Just fucking stop! Oh my God.
It's always this. It's such a tale, isn't it? Like that. This is such a heartfelt plea that I have to place my hand on my heart, just so you know how heartfelt it is. The love it's so strong from these people. They just have to contain it. It's almost to keep the love in, you know, because it's just too much for the average person to be able to take it all in at once. And why does an Asian person need to accent their eyes? Like, come on. You know, all right, they're not fucking slitty enough that you have to add that little cat's eye onto the end of it, like,
too, just like everyone else. But what I also notice, the people seeking for safety here, the migrants, the refugees who are trying to build their life, they are not the cause of these problems. They are my...
Oh, she's looking at the script there, was there? Did you see that? Did you see a little side eye to the
okay.
The notes?
There
it is. Yeah, that's a common theme, isn't it? The refugees are not the problem. It's the government.
Yeah.
No, they are, like, you know. It's not to say the government isn't a problem. They're the proximate cause. However, there are other hazards and perils that go along with the proximate cause. Actuarial speak. So when you're insuring something, you look at all the factors, and then based on the risk assessment, you then come up with a premium. And if somebody was to insure this situation, you couldn't get this country insured in Lloyd's of London, for Christ's sake. Hey, I'd like to get insured. What policy are you proposing? Well, here's what I'm going to do. In a relatively short amount of time, I'm going to increase the population of this country. It's one of the last kind of homogenous high trust societies left in Europe. I'm going to flood it with fucking a couple of million people in maybe a decade with no infrastructure, no plan of how to integrate the people. We don't have enough houses. We don't have enough infrastructure services for the people. How much is the premium? Dead silence, and then the door would close rapidly behind you.
They are not the cost of these problems.
Cause, darling. Cause, not the cost. They are the cost. They're a significant cost.
And there, that look over again to the script.
Yeah.
Or the NGO handler waving the citizenship papers. Remember why you're doing this.
Yeah, got the lighter out like, I'll burn your fucking passport.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They are my neighbors. They are my students. They are the people that I talk to.
They are your salary, is what you're saying. Yeah, but we get it. And there's often this myth that anybody who's against any sort of immigration is somehow devoid of any sort of humanity, where you just can't make the distinction between an individual human who, for all intents and purposes, is pretty much the same as you, the same wants, desires, needs. But somehow, if you have a problem with immigration, well, then by extension, you are an inhumane monster and you just want to start burying people in ditches in the forest. No, we can understand it on an individual basis. However, that's no excuse to go, okay, well then we can never talk about immigration again because some individual might get hurt in the process. No, that's not how it works. Ling, or whatever her fucking name is.
In shops, on buses, they are our communities, and it's a part of Ireland that I'm proud of.
Yeah, we don't care. In short, we don't fucking care.
You know what? On that point, is there any other part of Ireland, honey, that you're proud of, or that you recognize as, substantive? No. It's always this one fucking thing. Why is that?
Yeah, because it's what it means to her and them. It's a safe space. It's the perfect safe space for everybody. You get to come here, you're housed, you're clothed, you're fed. You've people representing you left, right, and center. You have organizations. If anybody says a bad word against you, they mobilize it in a matter of a week. So really, what you should be saying is, thank you, Ireland. And that's now I'm shutting up. That's really it. So it should be, thank you. Better keep my mouth fucking shut.
Yeah.
Because if I keep going on in this vein, I'm just going to piss my hosts off tremendously. And they may well end up, coming to our house, dragging her out, kicking and screaming, putting her onto a plane and sending her on her merry way back to Cambodia. And what's going on in Cambodia?
Cambodia.
Yeah, how did you get here? We need receipts. What are you doing here? Are you just here to work? I don't think there was much of a gap, or there shouldn't even be a gap. If there is a gap in the educational training board for somebody to teach people, English who come from fucking Cambodia, it's we've got a problem to begin with. And that's the madness of it. It's fucking endless. So we need more people. We need to bring in more refugees because nobody's here to fill the gaps in the Cambodian translation market. And then we bring in more Cambodians and more translators. It's fucking bananas. It's absolutely insane. So that's the campaign. I think the campaign is 3 or 4 days old. Okay. It's going to die in its arse. It hasn't got any sort of mass appeal. But I am going to make a a video, either with family, friends, myself, or colleagues as that lady boy. Are they called lady boys when it's lady to man? Or not, is it? It's what would it
No,
be?
this is a very specific thing of someone that you know is a man, but they're just being a lady.
No, not him or her. The
Oh,
other.
no. I know the dinner with the enemy.
Yeah. All
person.
right.
Yeah. No.
all right.
A lady boy is a specific fetish thingy or something.
All right. I'm horribly confused.
Yeah, you don't get them anywhere outside Thailand. It's a culturally specific phenomenon, the lady boy.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not the. Oh, they are. The lady boys are the prostitutes, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there is within their communities. There is. They're not all prostitutes, are they? Like, so it kind of has an older history, doesn't it? Where usually one of the was obviously a boy, like, but they take on the role of a female. Maybe it's just their way of dealing with homosexuality that they recognize that, okay, well, this person is female, rather than homosexuality. But I don't know, like I'm still kind of confused around homosexuality, because when I grew up, I was the general consensus was that it was almost like a disease. You could become gay. And then that kind of changed over time to, well, no, people don't. It's not a choice. People are born that way. Like, there's nothing that can be done about it. Then we had the nonsense of, those preachers in the States where it's like you can pray the gay away, and these kind of conversion clinics where they could cure people of gayness. And then I think it's kind of become accepted now, isn't it, that gayness is in fact, it's something people are born with. It's genetic. There's no choice involved at all. But I'm still of the mind to think, or maybe it's just because I've been conditioned to think this, that it is in fact, well, maybe primarily it's inborn. But then I can't say that with any level of certainty, because I know people individually who weren't homosexual, but then they had kind of some sort of traumatic incident in their life where they were straight to begin with. And usually women, in my case that I know, that they were initially straight, they had really bad experiences with men in their marriages. And then it's like, okay, I'm done with men. Now I'm a lesbian. And 5 years down the line, it's like you get a lesbian kit, where you get an ideology to go along with it as well. So I don't know. Like, what's your thinking? Do you think it's?
Well, first of all, I'm on degrees of certainty. I'm much more certain that when we're talking about lesbians and gay men, there's a world of difference. I really do believe what they say, that for women it's just kind of fluid. They can go back and forth. Like, my wife was lesbian or bi or whatever when I met her. She was in a homosexual relationship, and then after that, for the rest of her life, straight.
You cured her. You have the magic. You have the magic. Like,
no joke. She actually told me that. Yeah, that I
all
did.
Right, we're setting up a business. We're setting it's a new business model. If you have a lesbian wife and she needs re-educating, we have the man who has the magic touch to cure her.
But yeah, when it comes to the gay question, or gay man question, I am also not sure myself. However, I listened to the thoughts of Milo Yiannopoulos lately. First of all, when he was talking to Candace Owens about a month ago, and that was interesting. But now, a few days ago, he got into it with Tucker Carlson on his show, and he was a lot more informative, and it got me to think that this is a learned behavior more than anything else. With the caveat that, maybe there are just gay men out there. However, he made a brilliant point that, like, it's generally accepted that there's like 10% of men who are gay.
Okay.
However, recently we've seen an uptick of gay men.
Mhm.
And it's kind of gone up and down through history. There's no great like environmental kind of shift there. It's
Uh-huh.
just more people are associating that with themselves than in prior generations. If that was innate and genetic, then that shouldn't be the case, should it?
Yeah, no, we'd have a pretty stable
Yeah,
graph, like
give or
so.
take a few, deviations,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could maybe, if population increase, well, then the spike will. But yeah, the curve would kind of be.
Per capita,
Yeah,
yeah.
it'll
It's
be
just
a nice even kind of
mostly even
wave,
keel,
like
yeah.
yeah. And
Mm.
so, has there been any specific time periods that have been identified, or is it just when Milo was talking that it's just in general that he's noticed that there are certain spikes at certain points in history? I don't know if there's. I can't imagine there's been much academic work done on it because it's not really the done thing at this time, is it, to start equating
Mhm.
homosexuality as a choice again? But it would make perfect sense to me because we have, during the, especially early kind of Roman Greek period, as everybody probably knows, not in the true sense of knowing, but everybody, it's kind of the zeitgeist, isn't it, that the Greeks and the Romans were much more relaxed in their attitudes towards homosexuality. So obviously during that period of time, one, it's more accepted, we can say that. But why? Like, is it promoted? We can certainly look to
Mm.
today's situation where it is like there's parades, for Christ's sake. It's now being reclassified as an identity and multiple identities within it as well. So and it is, isn't it? It is promoted. It's an annual event, isn't it? Gay Pride, like it's an annual event. It's
all year event, depending on who you're talking to.
yeah, for young people who are desperately trying to figure out just who the fuck they are,
Mm.
and what their identity is. It's really easy to latch onto, isn't it? Oh well, that's what I am. And then if I'm not happy with that, well then I can just change it a million times,
Yeah.
and still remain within it. But what I'm more interested is, and I know with Milo, because I remember before he was kind of banished, that he mentioned when he was, I think, 14 years of age was the first time he had sexual intercourse with a man. I think it was a priest, either a priest or a vicar.
A priest, yeah.
Priest. And he was much older. And Milo saw nothing wrong with it, And then it was kind of spoken about, well, if a 14-year-old boy had sexual intercourse with a much older woman, he would be considered a hero amongst his friends, But what kind of struck me when Milo was talking about it was that it's kind of seen as the norm. Like there's no issue around it at all. Like, but for a 14-year-old guy and this was his first time as well, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And a much older man to take advantage of a 14-year-old boy. And, the first sexual experience is mostly, it's fairly traumatic in a straight relationship anyway, for the female, because there's pain involved, physical, and there can be a lot of emotional pain as well, depending on how it's done. For a guy, for a 14-year-old guy as well, if it's full on penetrative sex, it's a disaster, and nobody really wants to think about it, because I don't really want to start thinking of gay sex. But it has to be discussed, and maybe this is an opening in the window, so to speak, where it can be discussed, because it is somebody who either is homosexual or was homosexual. Anytime I see Milo, he screams,
oh yeah,
like
Queen,
raging queen to me, and I love Milo. Like,
oh yeah,
he's devastated
fantastic.
when he vanished, because it's fucking brilliant. Like, on multiple levels. But I was always convinced, like, that this kind of, I'm no longer gay, it's just it's some sort of grift or some sort of shtick to get back into the good graces of the American populace. And it was a case of like, okay, he's gone to some sort of conversion process and he's now cured of his gayness. But I kind of lost track. So
right,
Dory's immune. Is he cured? Like, is he still living with that black dude who was his boyfriend, or what's going on? Or
well, his story goes that So first of all, what really blew that up in his face, the thing about the priest, is that he dared to say that he felt like he was the active participant in that dynamic, and in his reading that upset a certain core within the right that didn't want that kind of narrative out there, because according to Milo, everyone on the right except for like 3 people are closet gays. And I find that to be a fascinating concept because there's a lot of it going around. So he said on Tucker, I woke up one morning next to this black dude that I was married to, and I thought, well, this, what am I doing? He adopted a similar, what he would say, more crude version of the practice. I forget what it's called. They don't call it conversion therapy because that is, that's their term. The people who don't want to look at this. It's more about changing your associations with certain thoughts, because it's a learned experience in this theory, right? So he found this crude way about it where he was going to such lengths as to use hot oil on his skin. There's a similar thing that you may see someone, maybe they would have an elastic band around the wrist, and just give them a slight little ting, whether that's they're just giving up smoking, or maybe they're pedophiles, who knows.
Behavioral therapy, correct.
So that's the basis of conversion therapy, only it's a little more nuanced, and and he gets into that on Tucker a little bit. Shall we hear him out?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
And by the way, I want to say I equally love Tucker Carlson. I figured out what the man is about, right? Okay. Do you remember when he said that, I didn't know I didn't know my father was in the CIA until he was dead.
Yeah.
However, the year before, he was speaking to Putin, and Putin said, yeah, I was in the KGB, but your father. And Tucker admitted, like, yeah. So I don't know what the story is there. I know that he said that he decided that he wanted to work for the CIA, so he applied, and they rejected him. And I think I know why they rejected him. The man has no poker face whatsoever. You can see every single thought on his face at any given split second. Just look out for it, because it's fucking beautiful. Like, he's not the robotic presenter. He's not stoic at all. He has all these ranges of emotions coming out of him. It's amazing.
Yeah, you're right. He's essentially a mime who actually speaks.
And with the collapse in people identifying as trans, you're beginning to now see what some of us have always known about homosexuality, which is that this is a product. I mean, there are some people, obviously, who were probably always going to be gay. Tammy Bruce. But maybe she might be the only real lesbian. She might be the only real lesbian. I believe when Tammy Bruce tells me that she was only ever into women, I believe her. Yes. And I like her, by the way. I think she's great. But she's like the only real lesbian. With gay men, which is completely different, we see the numbers go up, the numbers go down. This is not without some change in environmental factors. This doesn't make sense if we believe the old lie, born this way. If we believe what was in fact invented in the 1980s as a public relations strategy, born this way. So what happened back in the days? Gays were in the 80s, and with AIDS and all the rest of it, wanting to be out and proud and to wear their sins on their sleeves. And somebody came up with this idea, which caught on and worked. It was twofold. One is, what if we say that being gay is like being black or being a woman?
Yes.
then they're a bigot. We're not weird. And so it takes the religious, the moral majority's sinful lifestyle choice argument, and it screws them, because now they're saying, like, you're wrong to be a girl, or you're wrong to be black.
Exactly.
It was invented wholesale by the activists in the 1980s. And the second part of it was, and this is in a book called After the Ball, which is kind of defined how gay activists were going to, well, it was very influential, because it was really the book that told gay activists how to get this revolting sin that most people don't even want to think about up front and center, family friendly, and ultimately to the state where we let them adopt children, which is a whole thing we'll get into. And that was, don't talk about bodily functions, don't talk about effluvia, just talk about love. Just talk about love. Talk about it in terms of love, like love is love, love wins. And we see this to the present day. Never talk about, the stains on the sheets, the promiscuity, the drugs, the glory holes in Berlin nightclubs. Never talk about any of those things, because those things will repel women. And you need moms with gay sons to affirm their homosexuality. And so what is that homosexuality? Long answer for a short question, I understand. In almost every case, and certainly in every male case, it is a trauma response. It is not a sexuality.
Before he gets into that, what do we think? It's very confrontational logic he's using.
Yeah.
It's very full on Catholic.
Yeah. Well, you see, it rings true, like, and I don't know if that's one because I wanted to. It kind of it reaffirms my kind of Catholic upbringing that everyone in Ireland has received as well. He has the kind of ethos to put it forward as well, because was whatever.
Well, for clarity, he is not cured. He has gotten to the point of abstinence. And in his reading of it, the less sex you have as a man, the less you want it. And, that's where he is.
Yeah. I think for me, the kind of real point of it is, because we know homosexuality is being pushed, and especially in schools amongst young children. We've just recently had it introduced into our curriculum under the guise of, like you said, of love. So the reason why nobody can ever, have any questions around homosexuality is because we have to have love for the people who are homosexual. And therefore it can't be questioned. It has to be accepted. It can never, ever be questioned. And to question it is to essentially be ostracized yourself. And anyone who has kids in school, like, have your kid call, another student a faggot if you want to run an experiment and see what happens. See, like the teacher and school principal will be on to you in half a second. You'll be called into the office. There'll be calls made to fucking tussle if you don't correct the situation immediately. And what he's saying, like, we don't know how true this is, like, if he's, if he's any kind of qualitative evidence, or quantitative. I always get them confused. Which one is qualitative and quantitative? Quantitative evidence. So I don't know if there's any real academic weight behind it. But we can certainly say in the last 20 to 30 years that there has to have been a massive spike in homosexuality, either because people, one, they feel more comfortable to come out and say it because it's much more accepted now, or that basically it has been pushed. Like he's saying, there's a method behind us. He's gone back to the 80s when, and the 90s, the AIDS epidemic, and then an activists came together. And we've seen this method. It's not just, and he's talking about these activists in the 80s. I wish, or maybe he has to know who he's talking about, because I know certain activists like, Foucault, that, he was instrumental in having homosexuality and all sorts of, not to use the word, it's people bend at the knees when you say it, but all kind of degenerative lifestyles, to have them recognized as, not degenerate, to have mental illness not recognized as mental illness, but to have all these things normalized. And when you dig into the lifestyles of a lot of these activists, there's some pretty really kind of fucked up people, you know, like fucking boys in graveyards and what have you. And these are the activists who want this kind of behavior normalized. And I think most people at this stage are pretty much okay that if somebody is homosexual and they're an adult, it's like, well, fine, so fucking what, you know, go about your business. And if it was left at that, it would be fine. But when it becomes an active part of the curriculum, and it's not just like it's 40 minutes a week, where it's the strand runs through all fucking subjects all the time, and then there's extra additional time. Like, so civics is gone. We mentioned earlier, civics is gone, and it's being replaced with this, which is essentially a state mandated religion. This is the secular religion where, you know, there's no right, there's no wrong. Everything is morally relative. If you want to be a homeless, that's fine. If you want to be trans, that's fine. It's absolutely perfectly fucking fine. So there has been this push to have it normalized, and we can understand that grows out of, obviously, for gay people for a long time, it wasn't a great experience. You had to hide it. There was the risk of, you know, losing your career, the risk of being beaten up, being electrocuted, being, you know, chemically castrated. But we can't just all of a sudden stop and go, okay, well then there's no issues around it. Like, you know, there could be no blowback from this. Like, what happens if 50% of the fucking population becomes homosexual? What if there is a contagion element to it? You know, if this is being pushed into the mind of children. And we've seen that for the last 20, 30 years where people have been, you know, conditioned not to have children, you know, have essentially been convinced, well, you can't have children because it's not financially viable.
You
If you want a world state and if you want to control population, it would be the perfect way to fucking do it, you know. It's just you convince a generation that, you know, no, you're actually homosexual. Not that you're free to, you know, be bi, but that you're purely homosexual, and that then children are things to be purchased, you know, because all that matters is love. And how many times have you heard it said the most important thing for children is love? And that's all that really matters. And this love thing, we hear it mentioned everywhere, like anything to do with LGBTQ plus agendas. It's love, 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 love. Black Lives Matter movement, everything it's all love, 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 love. I'm slitting your throat because you're white because I love you. So it's all masked in this language of love. Now, it's going to be very difficult for any sort of, you know, campaign to take place where it's okay, well, let's look at the whole issue of homosexuality objectively. Because the minute anyone starts doing it, and I think this can only be done because Milo is himself a homosexual. If it's some straight guy, if it's, you know, someone with any sort of gravitas, if it's Jordan Peterson or anyone of that caliber coming forward, he's done. He's going to be executed in the fucking street. And in Ireland, oh my God, like, could you even imagine? I can't even imagine the subject being broached like you'd be taken off the air immediately.
Well, I'm worried right now. You know,
but you can imagine tuning into News Talk or something like that, and you're there and you're saying, well, you know, I actually think homosexuality that you know, there are issues that need to be. Oh well, unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. We have legal issues. They fucking be screaming down the fucking their earpieces that they can't even say Nazi on the fucking airwaves, for Christ's sake. So I definitely think there's something to it, and it needs to be addressed. It's going to be very, very difficult in the age we live in, because to criticize it is essentially the way things have been framed is that you want to essentially execute every homosexual. You are indeed a Nazi. Any dissent, it's Nazi.
And it's not even necessarily that full on. You know, I'm seeing in the chat one or two people who are making the point that, you know, these are human beings, you know, and they have their own experience. And if look, you know, honestly, if someone wants to do that with their lives and they truly believe that's who they are, I'm not going to hate on you. I'm not going to treat you any different, you know. However, you know, we need to recognize how you're kind of putting in that mental slide every time that we question this, that it's somehow attacking the people themselves.
Yeah, it's not. And we have to examine the method because what he's saying as well, it's not confined, this method, to homosexuality. It's being extended to trans. So it's the same method that's being used now to accept trans people, and it will be the same method that will be extended to, you know, minor attracted people.
Yeah, they're trying to do that. Yeah,
and it can be all sort, and it will be used again for, you know, euthanasia, because that will be an act of love. You know, you're not actually killing someone. You're engaged in an act of love to take someone away from their pain. And the devious part about it is that in many cases, yes, that's true. You will, like, if someone is, you know, say terminally ill from cancer, and there's no hope of ever curing them, and every waking moment of their life is just fucking agony. Well, then yes, the kindest thing they could do. And they are asked, because I've had personal experience of my own family. They are asked, like, do you want to end your life? And it is arranged. It's not legal here, you know, in the same way as it is in Canada. But, you know, end of life care exists in Ireland, and they have that conversation with the person, like, do you want to end your life? And if you answer in the positive, well, then it happens, you know. But when that's then extended to things like, you know, mental illness, which, you know, can be temporary, and in a lot of cases is, like, people get into this severe depression for a number of fucking years, but then there's no recovery from death. And you know, again, it cheapens life. The same with abortion. Like, it's the same method. It's like, it's not you know, it's not the taking of a life. You know, it's actually it's healthcare. It's not fucking healthcare, you know. And there's a bit of a difference between that and somebody living a homosexual lifestyle. But when you're trying to essentially make it the case that, you know, this is a viable option for you, or it's being sold, it's like they're going to school and they're being sold, well, here's an identity, here's which one would you like? Oh, you know, Johnny seems a little bit effeminate, he must be gay. No, he could just be, you know, expressing, you know, higher level of femininity. Or, you know, Roisin is masculine, she likes football, well, she must be a lesbian. And so for schools, it's like, stay the fuck away from it, stay out of it. Everything that needs to be done has been done, where anyone who is homosexual, you know, can pretty much go about their life, live their life, and, you know, you won't really run into any sort of negative situation, unless you happen to run into some, you know, strict fucking Muslims, like, where they will, you know, probably inflict real harm on you, given half the fucking chance. But for the average Irish person, nobody really cares. Get on, live your life, get on with your life. But when it's, you know, overarching and reaching into every aspects of society, you can't just ignore it. And then to question it is not to question the person's existence. It's just to question it. Difficult and, you know, hurtful as it is, but there's worse things than having one's feelings hurt, and that's having one's society fucking irreparably damaged, you know.
Yeah, and this is the trick. This is the grift right here, is to question this, whatever idea it might be, homosexuality, abortion, end of life care, you know, assisted suicide, is to question the person. It's just not the case. It was just fucking like immigration, you know. To question immigration is to question the immigrants. No. But we have to have this conversation. Would you like to hear a little more about the social dynamics of what makes one gay, according to Milo?
Sure.
All right.
It is not part of what you are, or who you are, or a component of your personality, or a function of it is a set of behaviors that is that emerges in people with a number of very easily identifiable common etiologies. With this, you know, you were born this way, honey. You are born this way, honey. You are beautiful, whatever you are. No, you're like that because you got raped by a priest, or you're like that because your mom was overbearing and your dad wasn't around, or you're like that because you failed to form a platonic, stable attachments to other men as a child. For some reason, maybe you didn't have a good male role model or whatever. But there is a relatively small number of identifiable and repeated etiologies that mark somebody out as being, vulnerable to this. And you look into the histories of gay people, they'll all deny it. They're saying, "Oh, that's just me," but it's not. And they know, because I knew, and they know. And I talk to them privately when there's no cameras there. I could squeeze it out of them eventually that you get there. Yes, there's something about their sexual activity they know isn't right, and it's not just in the technical sense that the sex is sterile and therefore can never be part of the holy sacrament of marriage, because it can't be co-procreation with God, right?
Yes.
Co-procreation with God meaning. You make a physical body with your wife, but then God puts a soul in.
Right.
And that's why it's the most precious sacrament, because, you do the others, you do your confirmation, all the rest of it, but it's leading up to you getting to make something with God.
So I let it play a little longer into his theology, which, personally, that kind of makes sense to me. But have you noticed this with, gay men, that there's just a certain personality that kind of goes along with it generally? There's the flavors of gay man. They have words for them, the bear and the twink. I don't know the terminology, but there's these stereotypes that are very fucking real, and they come with, these personality traits. Some of these stereotypes have the personality trait of doing drugs and partying, like things like this.
Yeah, and again, it's pretty much verboten, isn't it? Like, we can talk about childhood traumas and how they lead to other actualities happening in people's lives. Like, if you have an abusive father, well, then you're more likely to be an abusive partner. Again, we know in America with single parent households that the children are more likely to be involved in crime. That it is ideally it's best to have a good female role model and a good male role model to bring up a well-adjusted child. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed, but on the average, it would be. And again, how you can kind of correct or ensure that happens, you can't to any real scientific degree, but there was, lifestyles people could live to ensure that to the best approximation of it, and that was a traditional kind of Christian religious upbringing. The same for any sort of kind of conservative upbringing, but within that, it can become so restrictive that there is this not insignificant percentage of the population who suffer terribly because we don't know. Like, if it is as Milo says, well, then there's obviously something off within the family. Like he said, there's 4 or 5 identifiable objects. How you would mitigate that? Well, then, okay, well, this has been identified. Someone presents as homosexual, and then what, you put them through some sort of therapy to work through that, to identify the homosexuality. I can't imagine all homosexual sex is sterile. I wouldn't imagine it would have lasted so long throughout history if it was, if there was no level of enjoyment. But I don't know. But I think he's right. There has to be a proportion of people, and a large proportion of people, where this is true, and this is one of the causal factors for, actually becoming homosexual. But that's not to say it's all of them. But we need to study it, but it's not going to fucking happen this year or next,
Well, if we can't even have the conversation about it. A point was made in this, first of all, by Tucker in the monologue. He monologued for like half an hour about the "why are you gay" meme. It was crazy. But also Milo brought it up. This idea how what they call conversion therapy is illegal in the United States and is effectively illegal here. So this, this is true for here as well, that if you want conversion therapy, it is illegal for you to have it. You cannot seek this type of therapy because it would be Like, I don't know, go to a psychologist and say, I want you to tell me how, give me drugs and I can buzz off of them, and have fun. That's not what that person is there for, and they will lose their license for that. We can understand why that's a problem. But when it comes to like just something that's related to cognitive behavioral therapy, only the target is something that most people just don't agree with, and that's banned. Like we're not even near having the start of that conversation, if that's the issue.
And that's because it won't be allowed, because I'd imagine from the activist community, it's like, well, hang on a minute, they're trying to pathologize or re-pathologize homosexuality, and we're not having it. Like, we're not going back there. Like, again, we even have that today with today's young homosexuals, like, who never had to suffer any level of indignity at all, and they've got it in their head somehow that they had to struggle to get where they fucking are. Like, and someone in the chat mentioned kind of old school homosexuals and new schools. I think what they mean is that primarily you couldn't really tell if a guy was a homosexual because he just liked fucking other men, versus this kind of flaming, performative homosexuality. And I've only ever known one of those. Guy I worked with who was essentially like that, was all kind of fucking mincing around and over the top flamboyant, but in his quieter moments, when he relaxed, there's none of that. It's just a performance. The only other
that's crazy.
The only other guys I know were just like someone said, old school gay guys, like, where they didn't announce it. You could tell, after talking to them for half an hour, you could tell the guy's gay. Like, all you have to say is, mention a girlfriend, and it's like, and they want to change the subject immediately. But again, so that guy, he told me he was HIV positive. Like, it's all right. Well, not a lot you can do about that, so I'm sorry to hear that. But that's it. Like, because I generally think most people, when confronted with someone who's homosexual, don't really give a fuck. But it shouldn't ever mean that we can't talk about the phenomenon. And just because we're talking about it and identifying what leads to it, we're not extinguishing a race of people here. If there is a set of behaviors, and if it is, harmful, to society on a whole, and you have to look like that. It's very uncomfortable for people, to think, oh my God, could this actually be harmful to society? But we're in a situation now where, there's a large part of the world who think that, whiteness, simply to be white, is a danger to the rest of the world, and we must be fucking eliminated, So we have to look at, homosexuality for what it actually is. Should it be promoted in schools? Should children be encouraged to explore it? Or is it actually brought about, like Milo's saying, by a certain set of conditions, and in fact it is a response to environmental stressors? The same if it was wife beating, no problem around that. Nobody's calling. There's no wife beating organizations that are saying it's inherent, it's genetic. Don't take us out of existence.
I have a kind of a third way theory here of homosexuality and any kind of deviance, if you want to call it that. And I'm proud of myself because I came to this conclusion years before supposedly or allegedly Milo has himself. I've always said the musical movie
Rocky Horror Show.
Rocky Horror Show. There you go. Thank you. That is the pinnacle of the fringe. The gay, the queer, where this very straight couple by chance, by happenstance, collides with this freaky world, and they're blown away by it. It's like, well, I didn't even know all this existed. But that's not how we live today. It's just all in our fucking faces, and it's very boring, right? So I hope I have the timestamp right here. I think Milo nails it.
And by the way, can I say one thing that's bothered me for years? When I was a child, there was a lot of creativity coming from gay men in the United States. Like they were
gone now.
I know.
And it's Dave Rubin is responsible. Not him personally, but I mean, like.
But do you know what I'm talking?
Does everyone know who Dave Rubin?
I don't know.
He's like one of those. He was big 10 years ago, around the same time as Milo was, and he was, just a very dry, formal, right-wing chat show where he's sitting in this really just fucking way too made up set across
Was
the
he
table.
a member of the intellectual dark web? Was he? Or was
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. And he's gay. And now he is married to another man, and now he has 2 children. No, he has 1 child.
I wish I knew this was coming up. We should play that next week. Do you know Tommy Sotomayor, African American?
Yeah.
We were going to get him on the show. He agreed to come on the show, but something happened. He didn't. He went on Dave Rubin's show and fucking ran gay people into the ground, not knowing that he was gay.
Oh no!
Yeah, we'll have to pull that up.
We have to look at that. Yeah.
See if we can get him back on, like, because he's a funny guy, or another tamer
definitely.
version of Jesse Lee Peterson. But again,
less gayer one, as well.
Yeah, sorry, to cut across you there. Yeah, so Dave Rubin.
Yeah, we'll hear more.
All right, cool.
About, I mean,
of course. And why? Because
a lot of free thinking, and I was related to one of them, and I spent a lot of time in my house, lived in my house when I was a kid, and gay, died of AIDS, and had a lot of problems. But I will say, creative, free thinking, like truly free thinking.
But this is
Gore Vidal was like the archetype.
This is Burkean.
There are no Gore Vidals in gay world that I'm aware of. They're all like conformists and supporting the man. Like what?
Well, the only ones these days are ex-gay.
But do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, and it's Burkean. It's because creativity arises out of order. There has to be limits. And if homosexuality is not proscribed as wretched and kept at the fringes where it belongs, creativity dies. And what do you get? Because you don't have those people playing with the limits. You don't have the taboo breakers. You don't have the artists, the creatives living at the limits of society. They're brought instead. And I
think the gay community, such as this, is one of the least creative, most conformist elements of our society. I never thought I would say that.
They become the enforcers, just like...
They're the enforcers. They're the Praetorian Guard for Apple and Microsoft. Like, what the hell?
Just like the white women of folklore who, are responsible for all evil, but they become like turbocharged Karens, and
I think he hit the nail on the head, is that the fringe people are supposed to stay on the fringes of society. That's how, they give their mutative input into society and help us move forward instead of just being totally strict and overly rigid,
Yeah, well, that's it. If you want it to be the norm, well, then you become a normie. So you can't be creative if you're a member of, the average everyday part of society. That's not where creativity strives. And I spent like half a life around people academically trying to pull apart what creativity is and come up with fucking formulas for it and how to create it and what conditions need to be met, and anyone can be creative. Maybe there's, like you said, with homosexuality, there's certain elements that you need to, environmental factors that need to be met. But one of them is actually being on the outskirts. Even from an evolutionary standpoint, you know that in order to survive, you would have to be creative. And if it's a case where you are pushed to the fringes because at a particular time your lifestyle is, a matter of life and death, if people find out about it, well, then you're going to fucking either you'll die directly at the hands of another, or you will starve because you won't be able to, get money to feed yourself. So people will have to come up with creative ways to make a living. Obviously, there's a social need as well. And then when you get a bunch of creative people together, well, then, you know, the creativity tends to be exponential. But when there's nothing to rebel against, there can be no fucking rebellion, you know? There's no need to innovate. When what's the need? You can't force innovation. You know, you go to as many degree or as many courses as you want to learn how to be innovative or creative, but certain conditions have to exist to enable that to be, like you said. And if you're on if you're in the mainstream of society, it's like, you're done. You've achieved your goal. So shut the fuck up and get on with it like the rest of us. It's mission accomplished. And that's what we've said it numerous times. That's what a lot of these groups and people can't accept. They can't accept victory. It's like, no, I want to be the warrior forever, and to push and push and keep pushing and keep pushing, because it's got to be addictive in a sense, doesn't it? Like, to be constantly involved in a battle, all that adrenaline, and it's like, okay, well, I don't want to stop fighting. I want to keep going. And where are you going? What's left? What's left to really achieve on the homosexual front? I can't see it.
Oh yeah, that's the problem. There's not knowing when the war is won is a constant problem for the rebel. You know.
Yeah, and divest yourself from the last couple of letters of the fucking alphabet soup as well, if you've any sense. And I know there's a lot of homosexuals who are disgusted by the, you know, what would we call it, the more the degenerate elements, but there's no voice for that. I just don't know how more progressive society can get at this stage. It seems like there's nothing, or there's only one thing left to fight for in the sexual realm, and that's the one that's beyond the realm. And yeah, I don't even want to contemplate how that can become a reality. But, you know, 10 or 15 years ago, did anyone ever think that we'd be having difficulty trying to figure out who's male or female, or having that conversation? Or you'd be living in a world where people are having, you know, men are having breasts and vaginas grafted onto them, and, you know, vice versa for women. I never envisioned it. I never saw it coming. Like, you know, I foresaw pandemics and wars, but I never envisioned titties on men. Like, just didn't see it.
Yeah. Look, we got in trouble for playing too much Tucker. But, we weren't punished for very long, and we haven't actually lost much audience, so that's good.
All right,
good. For a little comic relief, do we want to take a look at some Tim Pool with Milo?
Yes, good. It'll round us off to where are we? 23, 43. Yeah, we'll round us off to 11.
Just a few more minutes. Yeah, of fun. So what he did, Milo, when he went on Tim Pool, who is the chief fence sitter of American politics, he just, you know, he persists because he refuses to, like, say anything really of any substance. So that also makes him a great platform to have people of, like, varying opinions on. So I'll hand him that. However, Milo went out of his way to just make an enemy of everyone in the room immediately. I love that about him. This guy that he picks on, he's called Ian, and he is such an unfortunate stoner. Like, there's nothing left in that brain anymore. He would wander into the studio and, you know, talk about, like, yeah, I just got done skateboarding, man. And, you know, they'd be fucking talking about geopolitics or, you know, some kind of lofty social issue. And then he'll just start talking about fucking plant medicine or something. Milo was ready for him.
Excuse me, ma'am. You know, I'm going to tell you how done I am with this show.
I don't know whether Milo was joking about this, but in a play, but he suspects that one of those bottles in front of him has a drug in it.
I'm drinking my favorite beverage, which is
Ian's here.
It's honestly,
Hi.
it's.
They're introducing
Oh,
themselves.
shit.
Can you shut
Milo
the fuck
doesn't
up?
What? You recognize him?
Is that the stoner? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. He when he said his name was Neil, he reminds me like that's Neil's son from the Young Ones. Like, yeah. He's not too similar looking from yourself. Like if his hair was darker, I'd say he's related to yourself, but it could just be the long hair. Like, it's just the.
Yeah, it's just the long hair because he has an oval face and I don't. Thank you very much.
Milo does not care. I love you, but wait your turn. Patient.
Oh, this is an actual gay man.
Okay.
Something Santos. He got elected to Congress or something, so he's like within the fucking system. And Milo has a go at him as well.
Milo is virtue. You got to be Christ-like.
I'm sorry. Are you lecturing me on Christianity?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Crystal Kevin.
Crystal Kevin
has insights from the Krypton Factor paranormal realm of fractals. Can we not?
Your blood has crystals in it.
Yeah, because I've got gout.
By the way, I'm happy to be here.
Rich
Thanks
man's
for asking.
disease.
Ian Cross.
I was happy you were here until
It's
that.
the old senator's disease. That's what it really is. So anyway, we have news.
George, this is not the fruit and cheese box.
Yes, it is.
No, this is the cheese trio. It's different.
Buddy, that's all they had.
You're the fruit.
And you know what? I just didn't want to witness cannibalism. I told you.
Oh, bitch.
I didn't.
bitch.
I didn't want to witness cannibalism. He's like, I need fruit. I'm gonna eat fruit. I'm like, dude, no, cannibalism is bad. I feel like this is the kind of show that appeals to the non.
It's so gay in there, isn't it?
Oh, the dude looks like a fucking corpse. Like he's heavily made up and just the animated expressions. This reminds me of hell. Like this would be fucking hell to be in that room. It's just...
I swear to God, I thought he had more of a smackdown for Ian. He does. It's just fuck. Where is it? Fuck's sake! I could have done a better job. That it to do with Milo is a hellscape to fucking edit because he jumps around constantly, but he makes sense.
I watched the first half an hour of the interview with Tucker. I was exhausted. From Milo, just the speed of speech. It's like watching a fucking coke fiend. It's just rapid fire. This guy here, those white teeth as well. Anyone who has that level of white teeth, I can't take it seriously to begin with. It's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, it's like you're dealing with a mannequin.
All right, here we go. 11:04. Fuck's sake. I could have looked at my list of timestamps.
The guy that went after Jack Dorsey, Jedi level.
Jack Dorsey.
The guy that went after this, Jedi level. I haven't loved this week. But I will say that this is like really cancer.
Making love to it.
Yeah.
This is what maybe got me to think, maybe there are drugs in that room, you know? But the thing about Liquid Death is Tim Pool, God bless him, he actually said, hang on a minute, you guys are talking about Liquid Death, which is canned water, which is so fucked up. He said, hang on a minute, you're not anti-plastic. If you take away the aluminium on the outside of a Liquid Death can, it's a plastic bag inside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, who is this? Like, who's the sponsor? Like, is this Tim Pool sponsor?
So Tim Pool has his own water. It's called Pool Water.
Jeez, oh my God.
Pool Water.
What level of retard is buying that? Like, and what level of retard thought that was a good name for a fucking brand for water?
Tim Pool. And he also sells coffee, like every other fucking grifter in that space.
It's just as well his first name isn't Jack, isn't it? Like he'd be selling Jack's water. Like, fucking hell.
That's funny.
That's disgusting. Like
pool water. I mean, come on. You may as well call it toilet water.
Yeah, fuck.
And horrible. And the only reason I'm sipping it is because it's cold. But no, none of them have drugs in.
You want some Jedi shit right now? You want some deep force
from you? I'll come up in about 6 weeks.
Okay, I'll see you then.
Have you seen With an L9?
Say that again?
Have you seen With Nail and I, the movie?
No.
There's that guy's like, when I dose you, you'll know you've been spiked, or something like that. I'm just like, I would never accept drugs from you in the nicest possible way, because I know that I can see, like, when when you look into someone's eyes and it's a bit glassy, and then you just see like eternity. There's just nothing there, and then if you like sort of get a microscope and like, oh, that's what a fractal is. Like, that's not the guy to take drugs from, because you don't recover from.
Right.
Isn't it fucking right? He's just really just eviscerating this dude.
Just going for the kill. Like you can say it's hurting the guy, like it's on a soul level.
Because he knows he's right.
Yeah.
He knows he fried his fucking noggin with drugs, And it hurts when someone points that out, because, someone pointed that out to me.
All right.
But it gets better, man. It gets so much better.
You have to trust yourself.
Whatever you would give anyone would like one shot any mortal.
It's unless they're already
like the ready. Mushrooms are like, there's probably 4 of these mushrooms in existence, and they're all in his loft.
You know the term,
and you don't want to touch it. You don't even want to lick it. You don't want to be in the same room as it. You just be in the same room and think you're meeting Margaret Thatcher. Like no,
you're projecting. You wouldn't want to be, but that doesn't mean others wouldn't. There are lots of people that would want to be right up there next to me, just staying warm. But my question to you...
Staying warm.
The word drug comes from the term dried herb. It was a French word that means dried herb. Just a basic, because there's so many plants that'll,
Are you trying to rehabilitate the reputation of all the things that you take that you shouldn't?
I didn't need to know that.
Drugs in general,
It's going to be there forever now.
Are you familiar with the concept? Are you familiar? So like some things can be like important but not urgent. Are you familiar with the concept of sort of like connected but not relevant?
Yeah.
that pretty much describes Ian.
Jesus Christ! If someone just
and Tim,
like send him away for a toilet break or something like that.
I know, right? And Tim just fucking first he laughed like horrifically at Milo's joke, and then he said, "Yeah, that's Ian."
Oh Lord.
Yeah, he's poor guy. It gets shat on.
Yeah.
He's paid, I think, to just be there to make Tim look good.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But that's what happens, you see, because so
what do you want to talk about?
The problem is the connective bit of your brain still works, so you can still shoot off and make like links between things. But the critical thinking, the higher executive brain functions are just fucking gone.
But the problem, Milo, is if you become too relevant, you become a target.
I wasn't talking about influencers, babe. I was talking about like your ability to think critically.
To seem irrelevant.
It's clearly destroyed.
Oh my God.
Well, the weed has lowered my intelligence but raised my wisdom for sure.
I know that you think that.
I know, right?
Just stop.
I know.
You're outmatched. It's not a fair fight.
No, you've got a slingshot and this dude has a tank.
Yeah, just sit there, laugh and smile and gently try to change the subject or divert them away onto something else. Like
the only way to win is to not play.
Fuck, especially with a caddy fag. Like this is the thing as well. Like this has to be a learned behavior from Milo. Like everybody uses it to some extent, but it's highly expressed in flamboyant homosexuals. Like they go straight for the fucking kill. And the few I know, I've seen this in all of them, that there's no gentle ribbing. It's just straight for the fucking jugular vein every single time. And conversely, if you fire back on the same level, it's like, oh my God, you've committed a mortal fucking sin. Like don't dare mention homosexuality being a learned behavior. Like, oh, that there you go, there's ammunition for everybody going in the future. If you happen to be getting hammered by a catty homosexual who isn't Milo, because I won't work on him because he's kind of popularized it for everybody. That might be your only ammunition, but this guy just needs to stop, be quiet, take the roasting and learn to live another day, or learn to live. What's it? Live, fight to live. I don't fucking know.
Live to fight another day.
There you go. The weed has fried my brain as well.
He had to go at Santos as well. I thought this was funny.
But you're quite a centrist, which people never expect. Do you often get people sort of thinking, oh, so you're not like a Fuentes guy, you're not like a dissident, whatever, because you have that kind of personality ordinarily that would cleave to the margins, right? Because we're used to gays being, at the edges, blah, blah, blah. But you're just like incredibly fucking boring. Why is that?
Wow, incredibly fucking boring. It's not that I'm boring. I'm just practical. I mean, I don't subscribe to the left or the right all the way, where they're meeting in the back.
There's not that much more to that, but I just thought, I love Milo. He's amazing.
All right. Yeah, Milo. I'm glad to see Milo back. He's been sorely missed.
Yeah.
But I hope he doesn't go down the fucking Andy Dick route and he becomes a parody of himself. Because like that, with Tucker, like I was really impressed. But he's funny there. But that can easily become, that's what he's going to go into every show for. It's like, oh, let's bring back the bitchy gay guy, and the kind of intellectual side of him vanishes. But it's good to see. I think in his absence, we've had to make do with what's his fucking name, the other English guy, also a homosexual, and Caddy. Oh Lord, it's going to kill me now. Conservative, always pro-Israel, was on the Joe Rogan show, embarrassed himself.
Who else is he related to? As in, like, who's he been on?
Oh, Jordan Peterson. He does the usual circuit. Douglas Murray.
Douglas Murray.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Another sterilized gay.
Yeah, but again, and it's that Englishness as well, that kind of wittiness and use of language as well, and then.
But that's just English, That's
it's not all English.
Not
it's usually a certain class of English person.
Yeah,
and throw in the homosexuality. I think Oscar Wilde was the prototypical originator of the witty, catty faggot. But he did actually suffer. He went to Reading prison. Had a gay old time by all accounts. All right, let's see what's there before we fucking. Where are we? 11 o'clock. Okay,
yeah. Well, just one more second, just to take a look at Tucker Carlson's beautiful fucking expressions. Let's say facial expressions, right? Just one sec. There we go. I think this is it, and we won't get in trouble for this because it's only a few seconds.
Thing that was not quite right.
Have you ever been addicted to anything?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Big time.
Do you fucking believe that?
No, right? No. Well, I think we said, oh yeah, big time. Probably Gatorade, Dr. Pepper. Fishing.
Not on Milo's level, but just look at this.
So there's that moment when your mind is flooded, and it's all you can think about.
Yes.
And it's all that you.
Yes.
Yes. I'm thinking of Dr. Pepper right now. I don't think Tucker. Maybe he might surprise us. He's, very high energy as well, isn't he? So.
Yeah. Well, he does mention that he does take a drink in the morning.
Well, I only found out recently that fucking RFK Jr. was a heroin addict. I didn't notice. Full-on heroin addict for 10 years. I only found that out.
Wow.
Yeah, did you know?
No.
Yeah, in his 20s, like after his father was assassinated, he turned to the gear and was a full-on heroin addict for 10 years.
I can kind of understand that.
Yeah, it's an environmental stressor, Yeah, but I didn't fucking know. But apparently he wrote about it in his autobiography. He OD'd on a plane or something. And then he knew it was time to go to rehab. And so probably the most successful heroin addict has been in recent years, from heroin addict to what position does he hold in Trump's administration?
Health czar, something like that.
Yeah, something to do with health.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, all the way to heroin. But again, if you have the money, you know, it makes sense to be a heroin addict for 10 years if you're a Kennedy.
Right.
If you're Anto Kennedy, not so much. Probably best to knock it on the head until you get a couple of million in the bank.
All right, folks, go to antibroadcast.com for all the links, relevant links to follow the show, ways to watch the show, and if you can throw a few coins in our cup, there's a method for you to do that. Antibroadcast.com. And yeah, we'll see you on Wednesday.
Yeah, see you Wednesday, 9 till 11 or 12 as it so happens. Yeah, 9 till 11 at a minimum. We see you then. Thanks for joining us. Have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll see you then. All right, folks. Good night.
All right, you are.